Fox Sports.
We are the Fox. We are Southwest.
He showed up as a 19-year-old wonderkid with the most powerful arm ever gifted a catcher and a bat nearly its equal. 2 weeks ago, baseball immortalized him in Cooperstown, a first-ballot Hall of Famer and arguably the best all-round catcher in the history of our game. Today, the Texas Rangers hang his number 7 in left field. 21 years of baseball genius celebrated on this special night, ensuring that the legend of Pudge Rodriguez will forever reside in Texas and forever define Rangers' greatness. This is Rangers baseball presented by AT&T. A very special night tonight here at Globe Life Park. And fans fill in the stands. It's a sellout tonight. Middle game of this 3-game series. Rangers and Astros on bobblehead night. And on an evening of superlatives. Could anything ever beat this ceremonial first pitch? Pudge from behind the plate. Hall of Famer, the Hall of Famer. That is how we get things started tonight. Welcome in, everybody. Great to be with you on this special evening. I'm Dave Raymond, alongside Mr. Ranger Tom Grieve, who, by the way, killed it out there in the field today. That was awesome. Special night for this Rangers team. Got a win yesterday, but this one really, at least at this point, Tom, is about Pudge.
It's about Pudge, and it's been a whirlwind month. For the first time, the Rangers have a homegrown player that's been elected to the Hall of Fame. It's been so exciting for the organization, been very emotional for Pudge. I thought today, walking across the outfield in front of 40,000 fans with his family there, a lot of former teammates, both teams, every player in the dugouts, might have been almost as exciting and emotional for Pudge as being in Cooperstown. It was tremendous down there.
Well, for sure, a memorable and very special night for all these Rangers fans here tonight. It is a sellout tonight as we get ready for the middle game of this series. Mentioned yesterday the Rangers win. They got out to a 6-0 lead. It got a little hairy at the end, but ultimately the bullpen did get it done.
They got it done, but it got a little hairy in the 8th inning. The Astros had a couple of men home, a man on first, nobody out, and Altuve at the plate. Jose Leclerc throws a high fastball, gets Altuve to hit a shot. Fortunately, right at Rugi, they turn a double play. A couple of more men would get on base. 2 runs would score. It took that play by Nomar Mazara to get out of the 8th inning with a 2-run lead. In the 9th inning, the Astros put a couple of more men on base. Alex Claudio went to his changeup, struck out the side with it, including Jose Altuve looking to end the ball game. What a way to end it. The Astros have been struggling. They've lost 8 out of 10 in August. They have a 4-game losing streak. Their starters' ERA for that time is the worst in Major League Baseball. Lance McCullers is on the disabled list. Dallas Keuchel has been on the disabled list, has not been the same since he came back. So what looked like a free breeze maybe a month ago, getting a little hairy for the Astros right now. They've got a 13-game lead, but they're not playing that well right now.
Well, the Rangers rotation gets an arm back tonight. Tyson Ross into the rotation. The rest of the rotation has been great. We'll put him in the spotlight in a moment. by a Ranger as we get ready for this one tonight. And it is a very special night, been an emotional night already. And of course, getting started just a tad later than is typical on a Saturday night. A 7:35 first pitch, our scheduled start this evening, as we accommodated the ceremony before the ball game. And of course, just as we get ready to go, after a gorgeous evening, the rain has started to fall, and Tyson Ross gets us started with ball one to George Springer. Well, Springer hit a home run yesterday for the Astros, giving him now 28 for the year. And one thing you have to be concerned with him is his ability to hit that leadoff home run. He's done it 9 times this year already. And lifts this one foul over to the right side, out of play. All right, taking a look at what the Astros running out there tonight. 71 wins, 44 losses. Springer up top. Altuve, Beltran, and Alex Bregman batting 5th with the 13-game hitting streak going right now, longest active in the American League. Davis and Centeno added to the lineup tonight for the Astros, down at the bottom of the order. Ross's 2-1 pitch is low.
A good slider right there, and that pitch will get swings frequently, especially on a 2-1 pitch where the batter's looking for a fastball, but Springer was able to lay off it.
Here's the 3-1, and that one is tight. And so Ross has walked the first man he faces tonight. Well, we mentioned the Shiner light blonde spotlight would be on this rotation, getting Ross back today. Look at the last 15 games. When the Rangers can get 6 or more innings from a starter, 7-1. Now, when the starter goes less than 6 innings, they have not won. 0-7. So no worries, Tyson. Just give us 6.
Just give us 6. First start since July 23rd. He's had a couple of rehab starts at Frisco. His last one was very good. Threw 90-plus pitches, 7 innings, only 4 hits and a couple of walks. Gave up 1 run in that game and struck out 8. That's the kind of line that you expect when Tyson is at the top of his game. 7 innings, fewer hits than innings, 2 walks, and a strikeout per inning. That's what you expect when he's throwing well. He has had command issues. 21 walks in 32 innings.
1-1 the count on Josh Reddick. And some of that, Tom, I just have to believe is, for lack of a better word, rust. I mean, he just hasn't pitched that much the last couple of years.
No, it's not easy when you come back from an injury. You've been out for a full season. You can do all the pitching you want on the side and rehab starts. But until you get back on a big league mound with the adrenaline flowing, 40,000 fans in the stands, you still have some on-the-job training to go through.
The Rangers glad to have him back. Of course, one of the better arms available in the offseason. But anyone interested, and the Rangers certainly were, knew that they would have to wait for a while to get him into the rotation as he recovered from surgery, thoracic outlet syndrome. Bunt over to that first base side, nicely handled by Ross. And they get Reddick for out number 1. Springer moves to second base.
Adding third, the second base.
Tonight's Rangers defense is delivered to you by Chicken Express. Joey Gallo's in left, Nomar Mazara is in right, Carlos Gomez again in center field. It's as usual, Elvis and Rugi up the middle, Adrian Beltre mans third base, Mike Napoli is back over at first, and behind the plate, Brett Nicholas gets the start tonight, catching Tyson Ross.
First time those two have worked together. So far the walk and a little bunt back to the mound. So here is Jose Altuve, and though this Astros lineup loaded top to bottom, this is the one guy you take note of when you look at the lineup before the ball game. How do you stop him? And Ross goes away with ball 1.
Yeah, I think if you're the Rangers, you're pretty pleased that Reddick bunted in that situation. That was not a sacrifice bunt. It goes down as a sacrifice bunt, but I'm pretty sure it was bunting for a base hit. So I think with a leadoff walk, the Rangers will take advancing the runner to get an out right there every time from Reddick, who actually in the last 34 starts has been hitting about 340, and he's been swinging a hot bat. take a look at the arsenal for Tyler Ross. He has a good sinking fastball, 89 to 91 or 92 miles an hour. Throws a lot of sliders, almost as much as his fastball, almost 40% of the time. Occasionally he'll throw a cutter. Pretty much, though, it's sinking fastball along with a really good slider. And the key is obvious for any pitcher. It's control and command.
Oh, good breaking ball, and it's 2-1 to Altuve.
Slider for a strike.
Altuve last night watched one of the best pitches we've seen thrown, especially relative to the spot in which it was thrown last night. It was strike 3 in the 9th inning, and he watched it, walked away, and was upset at the time with plate umpire Bill Welke, and it was a shocking moment for everybody. And I was interested after the ball game. He was asked about it. He went and he watched video of it. He said, "I thought it was a ball. I went back, I looked at the video, it was a strike, and now I know tomorrow I got to go out there and apologize to Welke for that." 3-1 pitch.
Good for him, because many players would not make that statement. And so when we don't know Altuve, but watching him play, that's the kind of thing you might expect from him. First-class player. He was just fooled by the pitch. Very seldom in that situation is he ever going to take anything that's close to being a strike. He was just fooled by the location of that pitch. Couldn't pull the trigger and felt like it was way inside. Went back and looked at it and tipped his cap to Alex Claudio, who made the changeup, made the pitch, and got the last out.
So 2 men on after the walk to Altuve now, and here is Carlos Beltran, who came up with a big hit late last night as well. He had the 8th inning double to plate a run, giving him 45 RBIs for the year. 1 out. Couple of men out there, and Ross trying to find his command in this first inning. 1-1. Well, there you see a career against the Rangers. We're talking 94 games. Good numbers for Beltran, a guy who, of course, commands respect wherever he plays. Great switch hitting now, DH. Runners going, and this one lashed foul. Springer with a big breath and exhale as he has to head back. Altuve will do the same to first. Beltran has bounced into 8 double plays this year. And Tyson Ross, with his good sinker, can get the ground ball in his first 7 starts this year prior to the injury, and gotten ground balls at about a 40% rate. Longer check this time of Springer. And this one popped up back behind home plate, fouling out of play. Nicholas out there to have a quick word with Tyson Ross. Might notice these two teams wearing throwback uniforms. They are going back to 1999. Great years for each of these clubs. In the middle of very successful runs. Rangers would go on and win the 3rd division title in a 4-year stretch. In 1999, it was the MVP year for Pudge Rodriguez. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Beltran strikes out 2 away. Now, how about this? Both these teams would love to recapture a little bit of 1999 tonight. The Astros would run off their 3rd straight title in the National League Central. Oh, great year for both Texas franchises. And with 2 gone here with the first inning. That brings up Alex Bregman. Good pitch from Ross right in there for a strike. So Ross seems to have gotten the feel back just a little bit here after a couple of hitters. Good numbers for Bregman on a 13-game hitting streak. Longest active streak right now in the league. Pops this one up. Short right field. Mazara coming in. And that'll do it at the top of the first. So Tyson Ross works around a couple of walks, and now the Rangers come to bat. By AT&T Internet. Visit AT&T.com/keep calm to learn more. By Budweiser, not backing down since 1876. This Bud's for you. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. All right, a scoreless top of the first, and now here come the Rangers in the bottom of the first. Shin-Soo Choo, as a DH today, will lead things off. Fires, comes after him inside. Choo, yesterday in the leadoff spot, 0 for 4 with a sacrifice bunt, and he scored a run. Now it takes a strike to make it 1-1. Good job once again this year, as always, getting on base. 366 on base average for Choo. Finds himself though in a hole here to Fires. Fires making his 23rd start, most in that Astros rotation. 7 wins, 6 losses. And this is high. It's full count.
Yeah, I think Fires, you could probably make a pretty good case, especially if you talk to the Astros people. He's been the Astros' most consistent and durable pitcher so far this year. Wouldn't be listed as one of their top rotation guys, but based on how the season's gone, you have to list him in.
Well, he deals a walk to Choo to get us started. Well, let's take a look at our Southwest starting lineup for the Rangers. Choo with the walk, Andrus, Mazara, and Beltre. Mazara is killing right-handed pitching, third in the American League with those 64 RBIs. Rougned Odor batting 7th again tonight, but he has done great things against the Astros, a guy we'll watch closely. And Brett Nicholas in the lineup batting 9th. Choo aboard, 9 steals this year, and Andrus takes strike 1.
Take a look at the pitches that Mike Fiers likes to pitch. fastball around 90 miles an hour, less than half the time. Throws other pitches, changeup, curve, and a cutter. Not an exceptionally hard thrower, but he's got a little bit of a deceptive over-the-top delivery and pretty good assortment of pitches. I talked about the fact that he likes to throw a cutter. At the beginning of the year, he was throwing a lot more than he is now in August. Instead of the cutter, instead of a slider, he's throwing a lot more curveballs. So now he's mostly fastball, curveball, and a changeup. And it seems to be working pretty well for him, as his numbers might indicate.
2-strike offering, and that one finds a corner, and it's a short at bat for Elvis Andrus.
It was definitely headed for the corner. One of those pitches that most hitters aren't going to swing at this pitch because, number one, it feels inside, like it's going to stay inside. And it tried to come back, and if it did, it just barely caught that inside corner. It's tough for a hitter, right-hand hitter, to stay with that pitch and anticipate where it's going to end up. I'm not sure that's where Fiers was trying to throw it, but he ended up with a successful pitch.
So one gone. And now Mazzara. Throw back down to first base. Trying to sneak one in behind Chu. And Centeno couldn't get him there. Centeno will do a lot of that. He has a nice arm, and he likes to backpick guys and go with that little surprise attack from behind the plate.
Yeah, that was Will Clark in his video tribute to Pudge talked about that very play and how well they pulled it off. Nice play by Centeno right there, catching that ball. Pudge would almost hide. He'd do it mostly with left-hand hitters because he could almost hide behind the left-hand hitter, and he wouldn't even have to stand up to throw it. He could just throw, go down to one knee, and throw it to first base like most catchers could if they were standing up to throw it. And the quickness to deliver it, and the surprise because the runner really can't see him behind the left-handed batter, resulted in most runners at first base not taking much of a secondary lead because they didn't want to get cut down by Pudge.
2-1 on Mazzara after that foul ball. Nomar with a team high 71 RBIs. Boy, it really just.
Boy, that came out of nowhere.
Wow.
Caught everybody by surprise.
I mean, literally, you could see the surprise on Mazzara's face. Trying to throw again on Chu. When you stand there, it looked like somebody had snuck up behind him.
It almost feels like it's not going to last because you don't see the ground screw down near the tarp. I'm sure they're ready to get down near the tarp. And it's raining hard enough now to where even if it's going to stop, it's going to be uncomfortable to play baseball right now. That's a hard rain.
3-1 the count, and now Bill Welke, our third base umpire, says that's enough. Let's get that tarp out here in a hurry. Boy, it is coming down in buckets. One out, a man at first, and a 3-1 count on Nomar Mazzara, but we have a pause in play, and the grounds crew hustling to get this thing covered and quickly.
Yeah, that, you know, it's liable to stop in a couple of minutes, but the problem is, as hard as it's raining right now, it's not too far away from almost puddling up between first and second base. They're going to get that down right now as quickly as they can. Hopefully this is going to stop in just a few minutes. But for the time being, I'd say at another 5 minutes at this rate, there's going to be puddles between first and second. And then when you do take the tarp off, it's going to take some time to put that that dirt agent that they put down that soaks up the water and dries the field.
The other thing is when it rains this hard, anybody who's ever pulled tarp, and a lot of us have, you got to get it in a hurry because that water builds up on that thing in a hurry and makes it really heavy.
Yeah, it's very close. Well, it almost is puddling up now in the infield. That's going to take, you know, if it stopped raining right now, it would take them, I'd say, at least a half an hour to put the turfus back on the field to get it ready to play. That's what happens when you get a surprise hard shower like that. There's absolutely nothing that the grounds crew could do. They got it on as fast as you can put a tarp down once the umpire signaled them to do so.
A sellout crowd on a very special night here tonight. I guess the upside of this, Tom, is it gives us an opportunity to talk a little bit more about the pregame ceremony today. And again, I have to point out that they were bringing everybody out onto the field and introducing all the people who would be involved in the program. The reception you got, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was. I say this all the time. When you're up here, it's a great view to watch a game. But having spent so much time in a dugout playing the game, there's absolutely no feeling in the world like being on the field around home plate minutes before a game. Even if you're not, obviously we're not playing in the game, but with 45,000 fans in the stands, you can just feel the excitement. Looking into the dugout, you can see the players who are getting ready to take the field and play the game, and it just brings back so many memories of the excitement of being in the dugout and playing the game. There's no other feeling at the ballpark like it. As great as it is to see a game, and you might have a front row seat, you might have our seat, no matter where you sit, there's absolutely nothing like being in the dugout on the field playing the game. And we said this in the pregame show and before the game in the open, how exciting it had to be for Pudge. Now, he's just a couple of weeks removed from the Hall of Fame ceremonies up in Cooperstown, and when you're up there, I think there were 55 or 56 other Hall of Famers there welcoming him, along with 30,000 people at the induction ceremonies. It's pretty much emotional and as exciting as it gets. I'm not so sure it didn't feel just the same to Pudge today. 45,000 people here. They're his hometown fans. No one loves Pudge like the people that were at the ballpark today. And he got to walk from the bullpen across the outfield to meet his family and former players, former teammates. And you could just tell by the smile on his face and the twinkle in his eye how much it meant to him. Very emotional day for him. And it was very exciting to be a small part of it down on the field. It was great.
Well, we call you Mr. Ranger, and for obvious reasons. And I mean, all your years in this organization, where does this one stand up with all the others?
This is one of the best because as an organization, so many people deserve to be rewarded. And the reward that they got is watching a homegrown player, the first Ranger homegrown player ever elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And you think back to where Pudge started in Vega Baja as a 16-year-old. He congratulated Adrian Beltre for his 3,000th hit, which was a classy thing to do. That is the actual plaque that will go from here back to Cooperstown and be displayed at the Hall of Fame. And so for Pudge, it was an emotional day. His mother and his father and his family were here. And to get to walk across the field in front of the fans, I thought was just great. He gave a tremendous speech in Cooperstown. He was a little bit shorter and briefer today, but I think the emotions that he felt today was just the same as he felt there.
Another look at the plaque, the actual plaque from Cooperstown. It was been here all weekend. Fans the chance to get a look at it. Hopefully they got some sort of protection, a tarp on that today as well. It's no doubt somewhere secure as we speak. But retiring number 7, 14 All-Star games, 13 Gold Gloves, most by a catcher ever, the MVP in 1999, and a first ballot Hall of Famer. And for him, all the various accolades I know are meaningful, but I know that for him, being a first ballot guy was particularly meaningful.
It definitely was, and I think Pudge said he needed 75% of the vote. He got 75.6% of the vote, and that was a big thrill for him. And I just go back to how much it meant to the organization, the scouts that helped sign him, the development people in the minor leagues that helped to develop him, the managers, the coaches, all the front office people, and then the fans who heard about him when he was 16, watched him develop as a 19-year-old when he got to the big leagues, to see 20 years later it all culminate being inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. It's an honor for everybody. It's a proud moment for the Ranger organization. Again, the first Ranger homegrown player to ever be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
And his number retired today. No one will ever wear the number 7 again in a Rangers uniform. Meanwhile, little rain here. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Rangers at bat for now. We will take a break. Studio will take over from there.
important piece of advice he's given you. He said, it's when my pitcher is struggling or when the game is getting too fast for my pitcher, it's my job to slow things down, to slow the game down for my pitcher. So Pudge's impact is obviously long-lasting with the teammates he has played with, and also too continues on with this Rangers organization. Dave.
Yeah, pretty cool. Obviously, you know, this is a sport, Tom, where guys pay it forward over and over again. You see it generation by generation, and that's one of the best parts about this game, I think. And it's so cool that Robbie has been the recipient of that, and he no doubt will continue to do the same.
Yeah, and I'd be shocked if 20 years from now he's not passing on the same information to a young Ranger catcher who's hoping to make his name in the major leagues. Robbie, I think, brings that same kind of quality that Pudge has in that regard.
You made reference to it too, Tom, and I thought it was really cool in the moment that, I mean, you're out there, 40,000 people here to see you. It's been your career, your moment, and he acknowledged Adrian Beltre.
Yeah.
And talked about the 3,000 hits. I thought that was so cool. That's a Hall of Fame move.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's just amazing to watch Pudge, how he developed as a player and how he's developed as a person. And how mature he's become, the way he handles the English language, his timing, his humor, how polished he is now. It's just remarkable. He's come a long way. And he was ahead of the curve at 16 when he started out in that regard. So it's certainly not surprising.
Well, we resume play. A foul ball by Mazzara puts an end to a 21-minute rain delay. Runner goes on the 3-2 pitch, but that's ball 4. So Chu will have second base. Mazzara with the walk. Rangers have a couple of base runners now for Adrian Beltre. Going back to that moment during the ceremony today. Pudge acknowledging Adrian, and Adrian right back at him.
Yeah, that meant a lot to Adrian. I don't think Adrian expected that as Pudge gave his comments as his uniform was retired. I think Adrian expected Pudge to say a few things and we'd be out of there. So when he acknowledged him, I know that meant a lot to Adrian. You could just tell by the look on his face.
Well, Adrian up there now with 2 men on, 1 out. Bottom of the first inning. Fires, puts a breaking ball right on the outside corner.
Fires has been struggling to throw his fastball for a strike. Rangers hoping to get on the board in the first inning, do some damage.
A little bit in, 1-1 the count. Beltre with that patented dance away. Oh, how about the sky now? We got a deluge there for 21 minutes, but a spectacular scene on a sold-out night at Globe Life Park. And a swing and a miss by Beltre makes it 1-2.
Well, the fact that Fires has a good curveball and the fact that he has a deceptive over-the-top delivery is tough to pick up makes a 90-mile-an-hour fastball look much harder. Velocity-wise, it's not hard, but the effect that it has on the hitter would indicate it's much faster than it really is.
Chopper towards short. The throw to second is good for 1. The relay to first in time for the double play. 6-4-3 they go, and the Rangers done in their half of the first. Well, nothing doing in the first inning for either club, and our Kubota power stats tonight. Move it along to the second inning. Now Pudge, special day today for him. This first pitch, that was awesome. Roberto Alomar out at second base. How about Pudge though? 13 career Gold Gloves, most ever by a catcher, including 10 straight.
There haven't been many better first pitches than that.
No.
A Hall of Fame catcher to a Hall of Fame second baseman. Both of them grew up in Puerto Rico. And there aren't many Hall of Famers who can rear back and throw a ball from home plate to second base much better than that. Pudge is the youngest Hall of Famer, but nevertheless, that was a pretty impressive throw.
So a terrifically fun start to the evening tonight here at Globe Life Park, and now the baseball has moved us into the second inning. Marwin Gonzalez, switch hitting first baseman tonight, and he takes ball one. Gonzalez, Derek Fisher, and J.D. Davis for the Astros. Gonzalez numbers pretty good. Those are career best home runs and RBIs for him. A guy who early in his career at the big leagues looked like he learned how to play different positions just to accommodate some playing time and some other guys on the team. Now it's become the calling card and his real value. He's played 6 different positions this year for the Astros. He brings a big bat to it as well and lines this one the other way. That's a base hit. Gonzalez turns first. He's going to try for 2, and that might not be a smart move. He is gunned down by a mile.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. A guy going for a double. He didn't keep going and slide. He turned around and tried to go back. Boy, that's a nice play. And that we talked about Joey Gallo and his athleticism all season long, and there's a great example of it. He's played third, he's played first. Watch how quickly he gets into the gap, cuts this ball off, turns a 360, and then shows that 95-mile-an-hour heat. A one-hop throw, and Rugi runs down Gonzalez, trying to scamper back to first base. That was just great. Whoops, I'm going to go the other way. It's like the Keystone Cops.
Wow, I mean, it was so far from being a double. You really wondered what was going through his mind. I mean, I guess, you know, you hit it well. It's wet out there. You don't know that a guy's going to be able to get his footing and get a good throw off, but my goodness. Now a bouncer second base, and Odor can't handle it. And Fisher is on. Well, we presumably scored an error on Rougned Odor.
Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 28, J.D. Davis.
Well, let's see if anything funny happened on that. Sometimes they hit the seam between the grass and the dirt, but that one just took a bounce. Took a pretty easy hop. Rugi just let it hit off the heel of his glove and sneak by him. That's one that Rugi will catch about 98 times out of 100.
That puts Fisher on with 1 out. Now the 8th place hitter, J.D. Davis. And he bounces one third base. Beltre on 1 hop to second for 1. The relay. And pull Napoli off the bat. No, he kept his foot on. That's a double play. Well, A.J. Hinch might ask for a challenge on this. We'll wait and see as he looks back to see if that one is worth challenging.
It always looks like the foot comes off. Let's see if it does. Nope.
Great call.
Foot's on the bag. Great call by the umpire.
5-4-3. Inning is done. We've played 1.5. No score. game as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Take a look at Major League Baseball's home run leaders and their ages. And this guy is right on that list, Joey Gallo. And he'll take a big curveball. How about this? 27, 25, 28, 22, 23 years old. A lot of young talent, starting with Stanton. Gallo with 32 home runs.
You know, unless something strange happens, those names are going to be frequent names over the next 10 years.
We'll see the overall numbers for Gallo. 61 RBIs, second most on the team. And he's done a great job lately. We talk about it quite a bit. His ability now, or I guess that patience that he has shown with much more regularity. Slips that one down in the dirt. It's 2-2.
Yeah, I would think that Joey opened some eyes up with that play he made in left field too. When you read about and watch a guy hit who's 6'5", 250 pounds, and you see where he hits the ball, you just don't also envision a left fielder who can go that far into the gap, spin all the way around, and make that kind of a throw. That kind of velocity is upper tier, and then a one-hop, perfectly accurate throw, combining the velocity and the accuracy. That was just beautiful. Probably a lot of people saw that and didn't know that was something that Joey had in his arsenal.
And he takes a walk to open the second inning. That is the 49th walk that he has accepted this year.
Take another look at this play, and again you see the athleticism, how far he goes all the way around, and then shows his arm strength with a perfect one-hop throw. And it was such a good throw. I think Gonzalez, when he turned the bag at first base, I think he thought he was going to have a really good chance to beat that play at second base. He was shocked how quickly Joey got that ball in, how hard he threw it, how accurate it was, and he didn't even bother trying to slide into second. He just turned around and tried to go back.
Oh, inside on Gomez. He got hit again.
What is the story? Where'd that ball hit him?
Up on the shoulder, I hope. And I think it looked like it was headed at his head, but it looked like he just did turn his shoulder into it. Man, wow. Frightening.
I think Mike Fiers, wasn't he the one that hit Stanton? Was he the one that hit Stanton when Stanton was hit in the face? I might be wrong on that. I better check that before I say that. And obviously, in that situation, Mike Fiers is not trying to hit anybody. He's just having a problem with his command. He's walked 3 out of the first 5 hitters, and now out of the first 6 hitters, there's been 3 walks and hit better. I thought that hit him in the head. Fortunately, you're right, David. Hit him in the shoulder. No intent whatsoever there. Just a pitch that got away from Mike.
Well, you're right, though. It was Fiers who did hit Stanton. Yep.
And you know, I don't think it's a bad idea for kids to get used to wearing that kind of a helmet with a flap on it, even if they've never been hit before, to get used to wearing it as a kid, so that if you're fortunate enough to be able to play in high school and maybe beyond high school, that's something that you're used to. It's just can be so dangerous. I know if I had a chance to go back and play now, if I could be transported in time, I would wear that helmet, whether I'd ever been hit or not.
2 men on for Odor, and he swings right through that breaking ball. The count 0-2. So it's the second time in a series against the Astros, by the way, that you brought up time travel, which I love.
I got kind of confused about time travel the last time. I don't think I'm going to go into it again with you. In fact,
that was awesome.
In fact, I had a friend that said to me, "Would you care to go back and try to explain to me what you are actually talking about?" And I said, "Well, that's hard to do when you don't know what you're talking about in the first place. To go back and explain, it's pretty hard."
There's Mike Napoli after Odor.
I do, you know, not to belabor the point, I do hope that sometime before I die there is time travel. Now, it may be a remote possibility, but I would sign up for it if there was a chance to do that. And I think we were talking, my first stop would be 1927, middle of the summer, Yankee Stadium, to watch the 27 Yankees. I want to see what Babe Ruth looked like.
Well, now Mike Napoli, 8th place hitter, 2 men on after that fly ball out, 1 away.
And then I could do like, did you ever see the movie Peggy Sue Got Married?
Nope.
You need to watch that movie. It's a tremendous movie. You could go back in time and become friends with your mother and father. Think about that.
Yeah, but I'm always, every time I see a movie where somebody goes back in time, I get so worried about this idea that you're going to corrupt
time. Yeah.
The way the future plays out.
Well, let's face it, no one knows how it really works. I'll let you know.
2 on Napoli. Oh man. Well, it'll be a great chapter.
Someday, a few years from now, if you come into the booth and I'm not here, and no one knows where I am, maybe that's where it is, and I can't get back. If I could go back to a time, though, I'd probably go back to the 50s.
The 50s?
Yeah. I'd go back to the 50s, grow long hair, and be a greaser.
Breaking ball to Napoli for ball 1. All right, so now you've got 2 big choices: 27 Yankees or the 50s with the long hair.
I'm going to make a stop along the way. I'm going to stop by in the 50s, see if I like it.
Yeah.
Take a little diversionary trip back to the 20s to watch the Yankees, and hopefully come back to the 50s. I like the way that they wore the tight pants down on their hips with the belt buckle around to the side.
Right.
I don't smoke, but if I did, I'd wrap them up, in my sleeve, kind of like this.
Yep.
You know how they used to wear them? I kind of like that look.
Just take a pack of gum. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I'd take a pack of cigarettes with no cigarettes in it, just so people thought that I smoked. Yeah, that'd be great. I would probably dream about that tonight.
Ball and 2 strikes to Napoli. He swings and misses, strike 3. So 2 gone here in the 2nd inning. Well, if you happen to fall asleep in the 50s, hopefully you'll have taken this alarm clock with you, and you'll be one of the first 10,000 fans of the park tomorrow. You can get one. Rangers talking alarm clock, courtesy of Dr. Pepper and Brookshire's. Tickets still available, TexasRangers.com, or by calling 972-RANGERS. It'll say, "Wake up, it's baseball time in Texas," which will seem so weird to you in the 1950s.
And to the people that see it when I bring it back there with me.
Man. Tom Grieve, man, he's got an imaginary pack of cigarettes in his sleeve, and he's got an alarm clock that talks.
Well, you probably never saw the pack of cigarettes that you used to buy at the candy stand, where they had like 100 different kinds of penny candy, and you could buy a pack of cigarettes that was made out of candy.
Yeah.
You could pretend to smoke and then eat the cigarette.
Yeah.
That's
what you'd buy.
Yeah, that's what I'd buy.
Brett Nicholas, 9th place hitter. Takes one high. They want an appeal on the check swing. Oh, and Bill Welke says sure, he'll win. That did not look like it to me in real time. We'll take a look in the slow-mo, and I'm sure I'll be proved wrong. He went.
Yeah, it's amazing. They always go farther than it looks to the naked eye, and that's why the umpires are so good. The umpires have a lot of things going on that they have to keep track of. That's just one of them. And then to be able to call those so precisely and so accurately shows how good they are.
Nicholas just turned on one. High and deep to right. Gone! Off the facing of the upper deck. First home run of the year for Brett Nicholas. And the Rangers lead 3-0 in the 2nd.
Wow, what a thrill for Brett. Get the Rangers on the board with 3 runs. That's worth a huge smile. High fives in the dugout. Manager feels good about his lineup card today. Got Brett in the lineup, and he paid off the first time up.
3rd home run of his career. 1st of the year, and a big one tonight. Helping the Rangers take advantage of some free base runners in the 2nd inning. And it gets Chu back to the plate. and he'll take strike one.
No, in the first 8 starts of the year for Fiers, he gave up 18 home runs. In his last 13 starts, he'd only given up 8, so he had pretty much eliminated the long ball problem. But he's really struggled with his command so far in this game. And he got one to Brett's liking. Almost snuck it in the front row of the upper deck. Hit right off the facing. Huge throw for Brett. Big throw for 45,000 people here at the ballpark. Let's see where that pitch was. Right down the middle of the plate. Looked like a changeup at 85 miles an hour.
This ball hit well out to right field, and coming on for it, Reddick can't get it. So Chu is on with a 2-out single.
I thought Reddick might be able to make that play. He's a terrific outfielder. Very aggressive outfielder. Gave it a good shot. Chu hit that ball hard. Reddick tried a diving play, but wasn't quite able to get the glove on it. The fastball leaked back over the plate. See how close Reddick came. No, short hopped it, kept it in front of him.
So Chu is on. And now Andrews, who had a very short at bat in the first inning, watched 3 strikes and went back to the dugout. This time he's swinging, clears it out over second, but Altuve is there to bring it in. It's a 3-run second inning on a night when we celebrate one of the greatest catchers of all time. Brett Nicholas says, "What about me?" 3-run shot to right, and the Rangers with the early lead. Good start tonight as we go to the 3rd inning. Brett Nicholas with a big 3-run homer. This night, all about catchers. In fact, Juan Centeno leading it off here for the Astros, but the real star of the show tonight, Pudge Rodriguez, joining us here. Congratulations, man! Special night.
Yeah, it's special. Thank you. It was great, you know, having Tom down there too, and you know, Tom and I, we come from a long way, and you know, he was the first general manager that I have, and he was the one to say, call that kid up, and there you go. I played 21 years after that. Thanks to him.
I love your story at the luncheon the other day when Eric Nadel asked you in the interview, the radio interview, your first day in the big leagues. Now, Pudge, you're only going to be here for a couple of weeks.
Right.
Do you plan to make the most out of it? And what'd you say to Eric?
Well, Eddie came and tried to find a translator for me, and he said, "No, Eric, I don't need anybody else." So he came to me and asked me, "Hey, I know that you are a great player, but they're gonna bring you here just for 15 days. Do you know do you know that you're going to play only for 15 days here? And I looked to Eric, and I said, Eric, I'm sorry, but I'm not coming back to the minor leagues again. He was in shock. He was like, oh, so you're not thinking to coming back to minor leagues? I said, no, I'm not coming back.
Well, we've got some video of your first game, and I know you've seen this a lot. We've all seen it a lot, but it doesn't make any less exciting. What do you remember about your first game?
Well, what I remember was I didn't, first of all, just to start, I didn't think that I'm going to be in the lineup. I was thinking to just be the second catcher. Then when I got into the clubhouse, they put me right in the second locker, right next to where they have the board. And then when I saw the lineup, I was hitting 9, and I was playing.
We're gonna have to finish this story next inning, okay?
Well, 1-2-3 inning for Tyson Ross. Has no respect for the fact that we have Pudge up here. We're going to the bottom of the third. All right, earlier tonight, number 7 officially retired. Great ceremony before the ball game, and the Hall of Fame moment for me, Pudge. Look, you're a Hall of Famer for a million reasons, but to me, the acknowledgement of Adrian Beltre, that was really special.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a future Hall of Famer for sure. For me in my list, I mean, I know that he's gonna probably play maybe 2, 3. Maybe 4 more years, but as soon as 5 years go by after he retire, I'm going to be part of that ceremony when he's going to be I mean, 3,000 hits. His incredible career. The Adrian is, it's been done so far, but it's not over yet. I think he still have a lot of game left in his body, so hopefully he can continue.
But you were talking about your debut, and you got to the ballpark, yes. Didn't know if you were going to play.
Well, I didn't know, Tom, that I was in the lineup, and then I saw my name hitting 9, and the first pitcher I think that I catch was Kevin Brown.
Right.
And Kevin Brown at the time was one of the best in the game because that very hard sink. And I never catch Kevin Brown. I didn't have the opportunity to catch him in spin training. So my first time that I catch Kevin Brown was in the big league. So, we end up having a great job. I think Kevin pitched 7 innings. I threw 2 guys out by 20 feet, if I remember. And then I get I hit the game-winning hit, 2 RBI single to right field.
Mazzara with a fly ball out to center field. One away.
Eric was talking about the plays at second base on the stolen base attempts, and it was funny because he said generally you say there's the throw, there's the tag, he's out.
There's a throw, there goes the runner, the throw from Pudge, and he holds like for half a second or second into the runners, reach the base, and he's out.
You messed up his timing. You got the ball there too quick.
Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was pretty fun at the luncheon was when Eric asked Roberto Alomar, how many times did you steal on Pudge? And Roberto said, I'm not sure how many, but I don't think he ever threw me out.
No, and trust me, I don't think, if I remember, I never threw him out. I mean, he was so smart as a runner that he was one of the best to me. I mean, he's a guy that reads every pitcher's movement.
Sure.
And sometimes he just runs before the pitcher throws the ball to home plate. For a catcher, is impossible. But to me, he was the best for me running, stealing bases from second to third base.
Oh. Well, you know, looking at that video, that was Joey Cora, right? Who you threw out?
That was Joey Cora.
And his brother Alex is here. I think Alex, right, with the Astros.
Yeah, he's the bench coach. Yeah, he's the bench coach for Houston. So yeah, the first guy I threw out in the big league was Cora. Yeah.
So what about this ceremony today? I mean, just 2 weeks ago. It seemed 2 weeks ago you were in Cooperstown, and already here you are here. How did this one compare to the Cooperstown
Well,
experience?
I tell you, I mean, both ceremonies are special. Obviously, when you come back here, when you come back home, and see 48,000 people at 6:15 today, there are already 48,000 people here waiting for the ceremony. I mean, that, you know, that's unbelievable, and to me that is special. You know, yeah, I was in Cooperstown, and yeah, it was like almost 28,000 people there, and it was a very good moment there. But just being here and being in front of the fans that I grew up and I played my first years in my career, been here and see the support and the ovation that they give me tonight, it was very, very special.
And Pudge, from now on, every single time you walk into this ballpark, you're going to be able to look out to the outfield, and you're going to be able to see your number 7 up there with Jackie Robinson, Johnny Oates, and Nolan Ryan. That has to be a pretty good thrill.
That is special, and believe me, after I finish speak today, that's the first thing Patricia, my wife, told me. He said, look back, really quick, look back, and look where your name is going to be, and that's going to be there for life. And then when the new ballpark is moving, he's going to be there too.
Going to be there too.
So
well, you're right next. You're right next to Nolan Ryan, and Nolan Ryan gave a video tribute today too.
Absolutely. I mean, the video that I see from teammates of mine, especially from Dontrelle Willis, that make me laugh. You know, that's the person that he is. Just to be honest with you. But be able to play with Nolan for 3 years and work good with him behind the plate and you know, feel good with him behind the plate is an honor. And to me, you know, when he was in Cooperstown, he went to Cooperstown. He haven't been in Cooperstown in a while, and he came for my ceremony, and that to me means a lot.
Beltre is on here for Gallo in this one.
And how about, could you share the story that you told yesterday about sitting on the rocking chair at the hotel in front of the lake with someone special to you?
Well, that was that was Johnny Bench. That was right after the ceremony, after the Sunday ceremony. We went back to the hotel, and we took the Hall of Fame pictures, and then we have a dinner. You know, the Hall of Fames, all the Hall of Famers, we have a dinner. So when I walk up to the stairs, Johnny was sitting in one of those chairs, and he calls me, Pudge, you know, come over. And he, you know, passed me a glass of wine and said, sit down. It was in the balcony. Sit down, look down to that lake. I don't want you to say anything. Just think 2 minutes. Look to that lake and think about what you accomplished in your career. Look into that lake and think about that you're going to be in this town, and you're going to be in Cooperstown, and you're going to be around us for the rest of your life in Cooperstown. That's Johnny Bench. That's Johnny Bench telling me that. You know, I get goosebumps. And, you know, when I hear that from a person that I saw him play when I was a little kid, and then I'm going to be in the same museum and in the same place with him and having a plaque right next to him, unbelievable.
Well, someday, Pudge, 25 years from now, you're going to sit down on that same porch, and you're going to ask a young player to sit down with you, and you're going to tell him. You're going to tell him that same story.
I might do that. I might do that.
Yep, pay it forward. Hey, Pudge, congrats again, and thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, Tom. Thank you. Like always.
Pudge.
Thank you.
There he goes, the great one, Pudge Rodriguez. Move along to the fourth. So that was a great story from Pudge about sitting on the balcony of the rocking chair with Johnny Bench. Easily, hands down, the top two. And these two guys, of course, Johnny Bench inducted in 1989. Pudge said grew up watching him play. Guys with great arms. And there have been plenty of great defensive catchers, but guys who could really hit the ball too. Whew.
Yeah, and I think if you grew up watching Johnny Bench, you would probably say that Johnny Bench was the greatest catcher of all time. And for Ranger fans who grew up watching Pudge, as a lot of people said today, they feel Pudge is the greatest catcher of all time. And it's really not an answer where there's a right answer or a wrong answer. It's probably just who you saw the most. Both of them obviously Hall of Famers and two of the greatest.
Now that was really fun. It's always special to get those moments, and what a big day for Pudge. I kept thinking that today might be sort of the culmination, right, of the the build-up, the tours, the handshaking and speeches for him. It was funny in the break here. He told us, "Oh no, my schedule's busy till December."
Yeah, I thought he was kidding, but he was dead serious. Let's see about this one from the side. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's a tough one for an umpire.
Altuve, not an easy one to get either, and he goes up after this one, fouls it away, and we'll see one more pitch in this at bat from Tyson Ross. Ross has done a good job of getting things back in control after first handful of hitters he faced where he was struggling to get it in the zone. Walked two of the first three batters he's faced. Has not walked a batter since. Has allowed one hit since those two walks. Works with a 3-0 lead and has the heart of this Astros order here with the fourth inning. Look out, that one a little tight. Ball 4 and Altuve is on. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's send it back to Dana Larson.
Designated hitter Carlos Beltre.
All right, thanks, Dana. And now Beltran, who takes one high for a ball. Beltran struck out in the first inning. Ross have to keep an eye on Altuve. He's a very good base runner. 1-1 on that foul ball. Now look out, guys. Looking at Delano DeShields in the dugout there. He is now the answer to a trivia question relevant to today. The last Ranger to wear number 7. DeShields had to change his number today. Now he wears number 3.
Wow. That was a fun part of the ceremony, seeing all the number 7s walk by. The parade of 7s, Chuck Morgan called it. That was fun.
Altuve goes, pitches low, the throw nowhere near in time. Altuve got a very good jump on Ross. His 26th stolen base of the year.
That was a nice throw by Brett Nicholas. Got rid of the ball. Wasn't a great ball to catch and throw. It was low, but he caught it, got rid of it quickly. Made a nice accurate throw. But as quick as Altuve is, there was just no chance to get him. He gets a lead, and it looks like after one step he's going as fast as he can go. Quick acceleration.
2 balls and 2 strikes now on Beltran. Last night the Astros were 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. So far 0 for 2 tonight, and more opportunities coming here in the 4th inning. This one left a little high and hit high in the air out to center. But Gomez able to circle underneath it. Altuve tags. He'll move to 3rd on the deep fly ball by Beltran. So 1 away and a man at 3rd. And hey, don't miss Aaron Watson. He's going to be in a post-game concert here Saturday, August 19th, presented by Budweiser. Catch the Chicago White Sox and your Texas Rangers. Then enjoy the concert after the game. Just go to TexasRangers.com/concerts for your game tickets and information on how you can see Aaron Watson in concert from the field. One away now. And Alex Bregman, the hitter. Bregman flat out to right field in the 1st inning. And he takes a strike. See the season numbers there for Bregman at the bottom of your screen, but a 13-game hitting streak right now for him. And the numbers even better, as one might imagine, on that streak. Over 350 with a batting average, and he's been hitting with some power. In fact, it's a stretch of 10 games in that hitting streak, 10 consecutive games where he had at least 1 extra base hit among the hits in there. But in a hole, 1-2.
You know, while I was down for the ceremony, one of the players, former players.
This ball lined over short, base hit. Bregman gets Altuve to the plate, so the Astros are on the board, and it's a 3-1 game in this 4th inning.
I don't know if Elvis could have caught that ball, probably not, but he went to take a couple of quick steps and a leap and slipped, and there's not much he could do about that, not much anyone could do with all the rain that came. But it's a slider, and Bregman's been hot, and he hit that ball hard. Let's see if we can see Elvis. He slips right there and never could get the lunge. I don't know if he had a chance to get it or not. But Bregman in his last 30 games has hit about 350 and now 14 straight. So he's starting to come into his own right now. High number 1 pick, got to the big leagues in a hurry, held his own, and well, maybe he's starting to do a little bit more than just hold his own.
He's on over there at 1st. And this time Ross works to keep him close. Bregman does have 12 steals this year in 16 tries, so another of the Astros who might try and sneak a base, and you'd like to keep him there in hopes of getting Gonzalez to hit one on the ground for a potential double play. Last time up, Gonzalez lined one to left. I'm sorry, Tom, just before that base hit, though, you were starting to talk about the former players on the field today.
Oh, yeah, and one of them gave me a trivia question.
All right.
Who's the only pitcher? Now, I don't know if this is true or not. This came from a former player, so it could be, you know, it could be a little bit of an exaggeration. I don't know. Who's the only pitcher to throw a big league pitch to Johnny Bench and Pudge Rodriguez?
Ooh.
This former player claims that he was the only one to do that, and I have no reason to doubt him. Pitched for the Reds, obviously. Came to the Rangers in a trade. Went to the All-Star game as a starting pitcher and as a closer. Back-to-back years.
Mike Morgan?
No, good guess. Jeff Russell.
Jeff Russell.
Jeff Russell said he pitched to Johnny Bench in what he thought was one of Johnny Bench's last games, and then came here and, of course, pitched to Pudge. So that's a pretty interesting trivia question, and
that's a great one.
Yeah, pretty nice throw for Russ too.
1-1 to Marwin Gonzalez. In near the shoe tops. Well, a couple of hits tonight for the Astros against Tyson Ross. Tyson has walked 3. One of them has turned into a run. When you look back at what has happened this year for Tyson Ross, that has been part of the story, is just trying to find a way to keep those free base runners off. 2-1 pitch and a tapper back by the mound. Andrew's going to have to hustle it to first, and he gets it there in time. They get Marwin Gonzalez for out number 2. A really pretty good play by Elvis.
Yeah, the field is a factor. The wetness of the dirt. I don't think the grass is necessarily a huge factor, but the dirt is a factor right now because it's tough to get a quick start because it's still slippery from all the rain. Groundskeepers did a great job getting it ready to play, but it's totally impossible to get it back to the way it was before the rain came. It was puddled up, the tarp went down, and then they had 15 minutes to get it ready. And what you see is a playable field, and the best that could possibly be done under those circumstances. But there's going to be some spots where traction is could present a problem. No problem with the mound, though. No problem with the batter's box. They've got that treated, and that's the one area where you can't have a problem. That's the pitcher's mound. You just can't have a pitcher slip on the pitcher's mound. Then you've got who knows what, a back injury, a groin injury. So the one place where they won't compromise is the pitcher's mound.
Bregman now at second base. That one in on Fisher, and it looked like it caught a piece of him, so he is on. And he is reached by an error earlier tonight and now hit by pitch, so an adventurous night for Derek Fisher.
Hit him right in the belt.
Third baseman J.D. Davis.
A couple of base runners in this fourth inning. They've plated a run to break through against Tyson Ross. We're in the top of the fourth. 3-1 Rangers lead. Here's J.D. Davis. This is just his 4th game. 1 for 12 so far at the plate. And he shoots this one out toward right field. Long run out there, and that one will drop at the base of the fence. Around third base, Bregman, he scores. They're going to wave Fisher all the way from first, and he is out. A good relay to the plate. Nicholas had plenty of time to tag out Fisher, and the inning is done. Nothing to challenge there.
Well, we saw a throw like this last night from Rookie. The runner was safe. He didn't have time. This time he had time, and this time the one-hop shot to the plate was accurate, and the runner is out.
And Tuesday, Major League Baseball marches on. Miguel Cabrera and the Detroit Tigers in the middle game of our series here. Rangers and Adrian Beltre. Coverage begins Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Central on FS1. All right, here we go. Carlos Gomez. And he swings and hits this one high in the air to short center field. Springer is there, one away.
The second baseman.
One pitch, one out for Fiers in this fourth inning. Brings up Rougned Odor.
Fiers had some pretty good movement on that fastball. It tailed in and caught Carlos on the handle a little bit. Four out of the last 7 times that an Astros starter has pitched 7 innings or more, it's been Mike Fiers who's done it. That's why at this stage of the season, for a really good Astros team, he's probably been the most consistent and durable of all their starting pitchers.
Yeah, that's a bet a lot of folks would have lost, let's say back in March or April.
Yeah.
This one out toward left field. Carrying pretty well out there, but Fisher able to run underneath it. 2 away.
That's too bad. Rookie's been struggling a little bit, and he hit that ball hard. Fisher gets a good jump. Has to go quite a ways to get this ball. It wasn't a high fly, it was a line drive, but he runs it down right in front of the 390 sign.
So 2 gone, and here comes Mike Napoli. Napoli struck out in the second. Napoli had that great month of July, 8 home runs in July, which was 4th most in the American League. Most Rangers fans don't need to be reminded of the slow start that Napoli had. Go back since May 1st. And Napoli has been pretty good. 19 home runs in 72 games. Power the last couple of months has really picked up for him. Breaking ball, and that one hit high in the air out to left field. And Fisher can run all he wants. He'll never get that one. That is a towering home run to left field for Mike Napoli, his 23rd of the season.
That
he enters back.
That had some Joey Gallo hang time on it. I couldn't tell how far it was going to go till I looked at Fisher, who never even moved. He just watched to see where it was going to land. But that was one of the first times in the last few games where I've heard the Napo Lee chant, and Nap must have heard it because he delivered. So keep that Napo Lee chant going. Boy, waited on the curveball, kept his hands back, put his foot down, made the adjustment, and launched it.
Now Brett Nicholas. That was weird. I mean, it looked like he started that swing and was able to stop himself a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
there was almost a pause in the swing as he adjusted from maybe looking for a fastball to the slow curveball that he ended up hitting. Pretty nice.
409 feet on the home run. Left his bat at 107 miles per hour. The Rangers with 4 runs, all 4 scoring on home runs, including a big 3-run shot by Brett Nicholas. This was Napoli again.
Look at the catcher. The catcher, I don't know how you put your body in that position to begin with, but he's basically putting his glove on the ground, imploring Fiers to drop this curveball right on home plate. Don't get it up at all, which is what Fiers tried to do. But it was a little higher than that, not where Centeno wanted it. And you can see the difference between maybe hitting the catcher's target, missing a little bit up, instead of a good result, ends up in the seats in left field.
Now the 2-2. Nicholas lifts it high in the air, short left field. Fisher's been busy out there. And he makes the play. 10-pitch inning, but Rangers get a run back in the bottom of the 4th. Mike Napoli with a towering blast to left field. It's a 4-2 game.
Two here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Pudge night here at Globe Life Park, and a big fan in attendance tonight, Clint Barnett. Tell me the story behind this photo.
August 6, 1996. I'm 3 years old. Don't really remember it. My dad's told me about it, saved it for me. Johnny Damon pop-up. Pudge ran over and made the play over the railing.
And there he is, little 3-year-old Clint Barnett right underneath Pudge's glove. He brought his glove. Pudge, though, made the catch, brought that here to hope to get it signed, but Pudge a little busy tonight. Maybe he can come back and get it signed another time, but a consolation prize. He is the progressive fan of the game, guys.
Well, I should say. That's awesome. Now, Jeff Bannister has just come out of the dugout, and he's having words over there at first base with Stu Sherwater. Interesting, because Bill Welke, the crew chief from third base, tried it all the way across the diamond to get over there and make sure that this one doesn't get out of hand. Milwaukee breaks it up. And as he did, Bannister got one last shot in on Sherwater. That's interesting. Conversation done. It's not clear what they might have been arguing about, at least not obvious to us initially. You see first pitch to Centeno is in there for a strike. Centeno 0 for 1. Take strike 2 from Ross, so good breaking ball there. Centeno rolled out to first base in the 3rd inning. Good fastball fouled away. Sherwater, one of the minor league call-up umpires. And Centeno strikes out swinging. It is the first out here in the 5th inning. And over the top of the order for the Astros and George Springer. Our TXU Energy power player to watch. And how about this? In his first 4 seasons with the Astros, 93 home runs for Springer. Only Lance Berkman with more in his first 4 years at 101. And Springer with time to catch him. More than Jeff Bagwell or Hunter Pence.
Wow. Yeah, Springer was a #1 draft choice. I believe he was out of the University of Connecticut. And he developed, struck out a lot, kept getting better, and now he's arrived. He's one of the best players in the league. When you look at all-around ability, he can run. He's a terrific outfielder. They gave him the nickname Spider-Man because of diving plays, going up against the wall. He's always been able to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's got a great chance to hit 35 home runs this year as a leadoff hitter. And he's cut his strikeouts down. He's walked 41 times, struck out 88 times. That's pretty significant improvement. He's hitting over 300. Well, this is one really good all-around ball player now.
It's baseball time in Texas. Wake up. It's baseball time in Texas.
Wow. That's our giveaway item. That's one of my favorites right there.
That is pretty cool, man.
The alarm clock with Chuck Morgan saying it's baseball time in Texas.
Baseball time in Texas.
Wow.
He's trying to wake us up.
Those were the immortal words of the great Mark Holtz, brought to life by Chuck Morgan.
A bouncer second base, 2 up, 2 down for Tyson Ross. We will take a Chevy game break and send it back to Dana Larson. Well, that's a good note. And he is on quite some run. Thank you, Dana. Josh Reddick here takes ball 1. And Ross runs it low and in. 4-2 the score here in the 5th inning.
Now you go back a couple of years, 2014, 2015, and if you combine the years, Tyson Ross had an ERA right around 3, didn't miss a start, had 64 starts in those 2 years, through 195 innings, 196 innings. Strikeout per inning, less hits than innings pitched. He was a terrific pitcher, trying to regroup and get back to that same style.
Well, a 1-2-3 fifth will help in that regard. He leads by 2.
Game summary. We're going to look at the Rangers home runs. Bottom of the second inning, Brett Nicholas off the facing of the upper deck, a 3-run shot. Got the Rangers on the board. And then in the bottom of the fourth, Mike Napoli, 107 miles an hour off the bat, 410 feet, a lot of hang time. A solo shot gave the Rangers a 4-2 lead. A lot of smiles in the dugout, a lot of chance of Napoli to go along with it. And our line score, Rangers have 4 hits and 4 runs, 3 hits and 2 runs for the Astros. 2 home runs, the difference for the Rangers.
2 balls, no strikes to Shin-Soo Choo leading off this 5th inning. Choo, Andrews, and Mazzara. You know the count. Choo walked in the 1st inning, singled in the 2nd. He's been on both times he's been up today. And there's ball 4. So Fiers didn't come close, and Choo is on for a 3rd time tonight. A great way to start the 5th inning.
Choo works another walk. That's his 66th walk on the season. He came in with 64, tied for 3rd in the American League. So even though he sports a .253 average, a little bit higher because he's got a hit today, with all the walks, got a very respectable on-base percentage of probably now .370.
That's the 3rd time tonight that Fiers has walked the first hitter of an inning. He misses to Andrews. Elvis 3 for 11 in his career against Fiers coming in. Of those 3 hits, 2 of them were home runs.
Ooh, be careful.
That's the 2nd time that Choo has really been challenged over there once at first base. So he's taking some good leads. Choo with 9 steals, and he got a huge jump. The throw down to second is not in time, and that's steal number 10 for Shin-Soo Choo. An audacious jump, that time on fire.
Well, Shin-Soo's a fun player to watch when he gets in the groove, because his grooves are line drives, base hits, walks, and he can still steal a base, as he showed right there.
So that's a big move, because now Choo in scoring position, eliminates the possibility of that ground ball double play for Andrews, who's 0 for 2. Now Elvis and Lance Barksdale, our plate umpire. A little conversation before getting in. Now we're ready. This one ripped over 3rd. Down the left field line. It is a foul ball. That just missed for Elvis.
Sure looks like it's going to be fair. About a foot foul.
He was out near second base in a long run to get back to home. Now, last inning we saw Jeff Bannister out of the field having words with first base umpire Stu Sherwater. Hard to know what's going on, but
I didn't see anything happen.
The only thing is Steve Buechele has not been visible down there on the bench. And I'm wondering if maybe Buechele might have had words of some kind for some reason and been thrown from the game. Bouncer left side of the infield, throw to 3rd, and it was nearly in time to get Choo, but dropped, and so everybody is safe. Andrews at first base on an infield hit, and Choo safely at 3rd, nobody out.
I've seen Elvis and Adrian pull that play off several times. There's no play on this ball at first base. Bregman has to go so far to his right. The only play is an attempted play at 3rd base, and by the time he got the ball going toward 3rd base, Choo was already in his line of sight, and the ball hit Choo in the right shoulder. There's no way for the ball to get to J.D. Davis. Elvis missed the double by a foot down the left field line, but gets himself an infield hit instead.
Now A.J. Hinch with that determined walk to the mound. He takes the baseball from Mike Fiers. So Fiers goes 4+. And it's going to be Liriano from this point forward for the Astros. Nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer now during the Ford Summer Sales Event and see why Ford is the best in Texas. A little lightning off in the distance on a stormy night here in the Metroplex. Rangers working with the lead and have knocked Mike Fiers out of the ballgame. Fiers responsible for the 2 base runners out there at the moment. But Francisco Liriano is the man who the Astros now will look forward to from this 5th inning on.
Oh, Liriano's been mostly a starting pitcher. He's had at times a lot of success as a starting pitcher. The Astros wanted a lefty, maybe a guy that could be a spot starter, but at the present time he's working out of the bullpen.
Well, he gets the heart of the order. HOU is at third, Andrews at first base, and Nomar Mazara 0 for 1 with a walk steps in, and Liriano will check in with Andrews. Four to 2. What could be a very key inning in this one right here. Rangers with a chance to add to their lead. Corners are in. And that one down in the dirt. Ball to Mazara. Liriano acquired by the Astros from Toronto in a trade for Marichka Aoki and Teoscar Hernandez, a couple of outfielders. Runs this one inside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Really the only move that the Astros made, and that led to a lot of conversation coming out of their clubhouse. Their own players expressing discontent over the fact that the front office did not do more to bolster their team.
Yeah, you know, Dave, we were talking about that, and I think no matter how you view that, and I think it's a fairly common sentiment for people around baseball to feel like maybe the Astros could have done more, but I've never felt comfortable seeing it come from the players in the clubhouse. It just seems that when you say something like that, subtly you're downgrading the other players on your team, because you're saying in certain places we need help. We need better whatever, starting pitching. We need a better bullpen guy. And it downgrades some of the guys that have been on your team that have helped you get to 35 games over 500. So even as a player, I think if you feel that way, the reaction I would like to see is, hey, I don't care who they get. We've got a great team. We're in first place. We'll win no matter what. We'll go to war with the players we've got here. Even if you feel like you did need some help, I don't think it makes you look good as a player if you come out and say that.
Bouncer left side. Deep in the hole. Bregman and his throw to first. Does get Mazzara, but a run scores. Chu in from third base. Andrews to second, and Mazzara will pick up the RBI on the 6-3 putout. That was a close play. One that nearly got away from Alex Bregman.
Liriano gets the ball in on the hands. It actually worked out well because it wasn't hit hard enough to be a double play. Almost worked out really well. Nomar was almost safe at first base. But it gets a run in and moves Elvis into scoring position.
So Andrews in scoring position. Beltre 1 for 2. And that one in there for a strike. (5-2) Rangers lead. It's 0-2 on Beltre. Liriano and Beltre, as you might imagine, have seen each other a number of times over the years. Adrian 10 for 34 against him with a home run. So a shade below 300 for career batting average against Liriano. Shows more concern again with Elvis Andrews out there at second base. The career numbers. Just the 4 strikeouts, so good at making contact against him. And this ball out over third base. That's a base hit out into the left field corner. Andrews will score. Beltre with another double. And it's a 6-2 Rangers lead.
And that's one of the reasons Adrian Beltre is going to go to the Hall of Fame. His ability to hit that pitch where he hit it. I say it all the time. He's 39 years old, but his bat control, his ability to make contact on pitches that other players might pull foul, swing and miss at, foul off, just amazing. 607 doubles now, moves ahead of Paul Waner into 13th place. That pitch looked like it was inside by several inches, and he was still able to keep his hands in, get the barrel of the bat on it, keep it fair, hit a double and drive in a run. Just amazing watching him do that. You know, in today's game where there's so many strikeouts, he's a guy that most years in his career he never strikes out 100 times. He makes contact. He hits tough pitches. That pitch is as low and inside, and you can tell by the way he swung that the pitch was not a strike, yet still he hits it solidly to left field.
And a 2 for 3 night for Beltre, continuing to march his way up the all-time charts now. Doubles, another one. You saw the numbers a moment ago. He's closing in on the top 10 all-time in doubles. Inside to Gallo, and Liriano plunks him on the hip.
A shooting gallery.
Another free base runner.
And again, there's no intent here. It's just the Astro pitchers are all over the place. He's got a chance to get a left-hand hitter right here. That's his job, get left-hand hitters out. The game's still a close game. They're trying to win. He's trying to win. He just had one get away from him. It's certainly not intentional, but well away from the target he had in mind.
So 2 men on now. Carlos Gomez, who was plunked earlier. And that one hits him on the back foot.
Come on, he's like got a Like he's got a magnet that attracts the baseball over the last couple of weeks. Gotten hit in the shoulder. Again, that's a slider. He's tried to throw it down and in, just held on to it too long, pulled it off the foot. Carlo's got to be one tough guy to not miss any time with all the places he's been hit in the last couple of weeks. That's the 14th time that he's been hit by a pitch this year. Mike Napoli's been hit 7. Odor's been hit 7. But Gomez almost twice as much. Well, it is twice as much now than anybody else.
Well, there you go. Team Maldonado, the only one who can match those 15 hit by pitches this year in the American League.
Well, the Rangers made the Astros pay in the second inning when Gomez was hit by a pitch. In fact, it was a walk leading off the inning to Joey Gallo, then a hit by pitch. 2 outs later, Brett Nicholas hit a 3-run homer. And so now the Rangers have a walk. Shin-Soo Choo to lead this inning off. He's already scored. And now a hit by pitch, a couple of men on. 3 men on, 2 hit by pitches, I should say. Back-to-back hit by pitches. And now Ruby's up with a chance to do some damage.
Well, that's the 8th time. How about this? The 8th time that Gomez has been hit by a pitch in the last 15 games. That's just a lot. And so now Odor, just 1 out in the inning. Rangers got 3 runs in the second, 1 in the fourth. They've added 2 more here in the 5th inning. In fact, you close the book on Mike Fiers, a season high 6 runs allowed in his 4 innings of work. Odor smashes this one down the right field line, but foul.
I'm going to put an exclamation mark on this inning.
Another big swing, but another foul ball. And we talked about it earlier tonight when we were looking at the lineups, but Odor, for whatever reason, he's had a lot of fun hitting home runs against the Houston Astros. 4 of those 15 this year.
Yeah, all American League West teams involved there because you play the Astros as an American League West team the most.
He'll pop up into center field.
This could be interesting.
Yeah, Springer's got a good arm. Tagging at third base and heading to the plate, Beltre, and he is out.
What a throw. What a throw. Right on the money. Long range.
And that double play ends the inning. 8-2, the putout. Rangers have to settle for 2.
This play under review is presented by Toyota.
Well, we're in a challenge. Rangers challenged that play at the plate just a moment ago, 6-2. Rangers leading here in the 5th inning. Question is the inning over? Or do the Rangers just extend their lead on a sacrifice fly? Take another look. Here's the play at the plate. Beltre trying to score on a really good throw from George Springer in center field.
Pretty nifty slide to go along with it.
That foot looked like it might have gotten under there, but on review, the play stands. So the inning's done. We'll go to the 6th inning. Now tomorrow, as we get ready for the final game in this series, Dallas Keuchel will have the start for the Houston Astros. Andrew Cashner has been so good lately. Will take the ball for the Rangers. Our AT&T pitching matchup in the finale. Coverage will begin tomorrow, 1:30 Central Time here on Fox Sports Southwest. Hope you join us for that. And maybe, should the Rangers hold on, find a way to win this one today, 6-2, maybe a chance tomorrow to do something real nice in this series.
Well, I certainly like the fact that Andrew Cashner's on the mound. He had a little bit of a stiff neck problem and missed his last start, but he's been throwing the ball really well. You can tell by his record. Nice ERA. Tyson Ross back on the mound for the 6th inning. He's been throwing the ball well tonight. A couple of command issues, but he's got the game in pretty good control right now. It's 6-2. Hopefully he can come out and have a good 6th inning right here.
So the offense been clicking again tonight, and not surprisingly, much different than last night. The runs coming on home runs. That was the aberration last night, scoring 6 runs without a home run.
Without a home run. Yeah, that's unusual for the Rangers, but they're back at it tonight. And we mentioned Mike Fiers had given up 18 home runs in his first 8 starts this year. Then he pretty much calmed down and only given up 8 since then. But tonight the Rangers got him for a couple of home runs. He was behind in the count, really didn't have his control, both throwing too many balls out of the strike zone and maybe hitting too much of the hitter zone when he did hit the strike zone. So the Rangers were a little bit tough on him tonight, 4 innings and 6 runs. And it took a tremendous throw by George Springer from way out in right center field to end that inning. Otherwise, Rougned would have had a sacrifice fly and the Rangers might still be at bat. Tremendous play.
We've seen some good defense in this one tonight, but now ready to go here in this 6th inning. Jose Altuve to lead things off for the Astros, Carlos Beltran, and then Alex Bregman. 6-2. Rangers leading, but one of those games where you feel like maybe there could have been more. Tyson Ross gets Altuve to swing at the first pitch, pops it up, third base side. Beltre waiting for it and had a little trouble. You could tell he was struggling to find it in the lights or the sky. Not real sure what it was, but couldn't corral it.
It's got a little bit of rain, which can be the only thing I can think of. But I don't know how many pop-ups like that he's dropped in his career. That's the first one I've ever seen him drop.
It's like the rain just started as he was working on catching that pop-up, but I'm with you. You don't see that.
Yeah, and it's not raining right now. It's like it came down while that pop-up was up in the air.
It goes as an error on Beltre, extending the at-bat. The count now 0-2.
Well, I tell you one thing. If the Rangers win this game, Elvis has had a hit. Beltre's had a couple of hits. Adrian may take some ribbing from Elvis after this game.
Altuve got a pretty good swing on that one, but it didn't carry for him.
Well, he's out anyway. Took a couple extra pitches, but the result's the same, so no damage done.
One away. And that brings up Beltran.
Designated hitter Carlos Beltran.
Well, Beltran 0 for 2. Struck out in the first, flied out in the 4th inning. Ross trying to get his way through a 6th inning of work, and we talked about this earlier tonight. Rangers starters in the last 15 games Well, when they go 6 or more, they really give this team a chance to win. When they do not go 6 innings, the Rangers have struggled mightily, to the tune of going 0-7 in those games when they don't get 6 innings from starters, and they go 7-1 when they do. Swinging that one down the left field line, slicing down that line, foul. Ball and 2 strikes. Beltre, the switch hitting DH, batting cleanup today, and then the numbers have not been on par with what you would expect from him over the course of his career. He hammered that ball foul. Count stays 1-2. We're so used to seeing Beltre put up all-star worthy numbers, and getting to that point in his career where those big home run totals, high averages, harder and harder to come by, hitting .246 coming into play today. It's now 2-2. Ross wasting no time, just missed that inside corner. Wow. Yeah, and Jeff Bannister feeling like that one might have been there. Ooh. It's close. A foul ball by Beltre. The count stays 3-2. Fourth 3-ball count tonight for Ross. You see his pitch count still shy of 80. And Beltre lifts this one high in the air, left center field. Gomez closing in on it from center field, and he makes the play. 2 gone. Hey, join Fox Sports Southwest for Texas Football Days beginning August 28th. Watch classic high school football games daily, leading up to the first ever live doubleheader of high school football, followed by college football across the Fox family of networks. Go to foxsportssouthwest.com for details.
Boy, for football lovers, they're in for a treat right there.
Bregman up there, fouls off strike 1. Yeah, it's that time of year. That's going to be pretty cool, though.
For sure.
Doubleheader, high school doubleheader live, check-ins from all over the place as well with other games live. 0-2 to Bregman, who singled in a run in the 4th inning.
A nice job by Tyson Ross settling in. Had a little bit of a long first inning. It felt like maybe 20 pitches, some command issues, but settling in, throwing a lot more strikes right now, getting some quick outs. 80 pitches here in the 6th inning. Watch out. Well, that one, as soon as I talk, that happened.
And got Bregman on the elbow. Ugh. So the Astros put a man on with 2 out.
First baseman Marlins
Trying to get it in and jam him, just ran it in a little bit too far.
Well, that's the 5th hit batsman in today's game. Bregman and Fisher on the Astros side have been hit. Carlos Gomez has been hit twice, and Joey Gallo has been hit in this one as well. Now Marwin Gonzalez, who's 1 for 2. Bouncer right side, and that one gets past Odor and out into right field. Bregman turns second. He'll go to third. That is a base hit for Gonzalez. The Astros have him on the corners.
That would have taken an exceptional play by Rugi to make the play on that. Gonzalez gets on, hits the top of the ball, has some top spin on it. Takes a little bit of a big hop as Rugi's going as fast as he can to his left.
Matt Bush beginning to get ready out there.
Kind of a part of the game we haven't seen Matt pitch in a lot this year here in the 6th inning. Tyson trying to get this last out right here.
And importantly, trying to do so with a 4-run lead and keep it that way. And here is Derek Fisher, reached on an error, and he's been hit by a pitch. Ross's first pitch, good block back there by Nicholas. Bregman at third base. And that becomes an important play. That one gets past him. Bregman's probably in. Bregman, a scrappy, hard-nosed, very aggressive player, an aggressive base runner. There's no doubt if he saw a little opening, he was going to try and take it. Fisher hitting .264 with 4 home runs this year. Hmm. 2-0. Fisher had a single and a couple of walks in yesterday's game. This is 20th start. He has hit safely in 18 starts so far, and this one's high, 3-0.
Boy, it looked like the inning was in pretty good control after Carlos Gomez ranged all the way back to the wall to catch the fly ball from Beltran. It was 2 up, 2 down. And a hit by pitch, ground ball into right field, and a 3-0 count.
And the pitch on the way, and that one is outside, ball 4. So Fisher is on, and they are loaded up. A bit of a mess in this 6th inning, but J.D. Davis coming up here.
And here's where managers earn their money, the tough decisions. You've got a man warmed up in the bullpen. You've got a pitcher who's struggling a little bit with his command. It's still only the 6th inning, and Jeff Bannister's going through the thought process. Okay, is it one more hitter? Am I going to give Tyson a chance to get this hitter? Am I going to go to the fresh arm out in the bullpen, Matt Bush? So if you're watching at home, make your decision now. Don't make it after this batter. Make your decision right now if you're the manager. Tough calls for a manager. I think he likes the way Tyson's throwing the ball right now. Wants to give him a chance to get this last out in the 6th inning.
This one bounces away, but nobody moving. Nicholas got crossed up on that one. In fact, he's going to head out there and make sure that he and Ross have the same idea of what they're trying to do here. Conversation done. I'm sure that's a sick feeling when that happens to you behind home plate. You think one pitch is coming and you've got another.
You know, there's a time in the game last night where Alex Claudio was struggling a little bit. He had men on in the 9th inning. He gave up a couple of doubles in the 8th inning, and Banny stuck with him. Alex answered that with struck out the side in the 9th inning. So those men, you know, we don't draw attention to every single decision a manager has to make, but there's hundreds of them all game long. Every inning you have decisions to make, and the toughest ones are when to replace a pitcher, when to bring in the guy from the bullpen.
1-1. Bouncer, third base foul, and it's strike 2 on Davis.
There's all sorts of data available that they look at. What a pitcher does against a hitter, how a hitter hits against a sinker ball pitcher, a lefty, a righty, and all that's factored into it. And then sometimes it just comes down to a gut feeling.
Ross 1 strike away from getting through 6 innings. And importantly, leaving the bases loaded. Bregman third, Gonzalez second, Fisher at first base. Just The 5th big league game in J.D. Davis's career, and the 1-2 pitch is high. That'll leave the count at 2-2. You see it by inning. Second and third innings were a real breeze for Tyson Ross. He's had to work as hard in this 6th as he has in any inning tonight. 2-2. And it's a full count. Oh, man. This guy right here has 2 hits in his big league career. One of them tonight. He is 2 for 13 with 6 strikeouts. And he's got the bases loaded, 2 out. Everybody will be moving on the pitch. It's a fire drill. Here it comes. Ooh, ball 4.
Well, I don't know how he laid off that pitch. Pretty good discipline for a young, inexperienced hitter. 3-2 pitch with the bases loaded. That was a very good slider, just a little bit out of the strike zone, and he laid off it. Nice at bat for Davis.
Well, he drives home a run, makes it a 6-3 game, and Jeff Bannister taking Ross out of the game. So Matt Bush coming on with 2 out here in the 6th. And a Coca-Cola family pack offers savings of over 30% on tickets, food, kids zone access, souvenir programs, and Coke soft drinks. It's an ideal way to catch the Rangers and Astros tomorrow afternoon. It'll be an exciting one. Go to TexasRangers.com/specials and get your Coca-Cola family pack tonight. And Matt Bush getting ready to go. Said it earlier, Tom, a bit of a rare sight to see him as early as the 6th inning. Second time in his career that he has appeared in the 6th.
Well, you know, Dave, you can make a pretty good case whether it's the 6th, 8th, or 9th. It's 6-3 with the bases loaded, so I think you bring in a guy that you feel like can get that out right now. May not be a bigger moment in the game than right now.
Runs a heater just a little bit in on Centeno. Boy, there have been a lot of borderline calls tonight. I'm not saying that they've necessarily gone to one side or the other, but there have been some tough ones back there behind home plate for Lance Barksdale. Isn't kind of implying that maybe they've gone one way or the other. 1-0 to Centeno. I know. See, that one, there's just no explanation.
No. That pitch is pretty much right down the middle of the plate.
There's been a lot of conversation from the Rangers bench with this umpiring crew. Seems like it's getting more and more tense as the night wears on.
The first pitch could have been a strike. That pitch has got to be a strike. That's not a strike. The pitcher doesn't have a chance.
Bases are loaded here. The 2-0. Ball 3. There have been 9 walks and 5 hit batters in this game. Back-to-back walks. The very end of Tyson Ross's outing. The last one coming with the bases loaded, and now Centeno ahead 3-0 here. There's a strike. Gonzalez at third base, Fisher at second, J.D. Davis, the man at first. For the Astros, a 6-3 Rangers lead. And there's a strike. So a full count now on Centeno. Hasn't yet taken that bat off his shoulder. Then again, might be an astute move on his part, watching what J.D. Davis did.
Yeah, I think under the circumstances, 2 straight walks and a 3-0 count. Almost had to take 2 strikes right there.
3-2, runners go, and this one fouled back. Well, no doubt a little disappointment in the crowd here from a moment ago. That walk to Davis that pushed Ross out of the game and forced Bush in, but you could turn that into a big positive here. 47,306 looking for a reason. Bush wants to give it to him. The 3-2 fouled away again. Nicholas out there. Make sure they have the right idea with Centeno. Centeno 0 for 2. Mentioned that J.D. Davis in the previous at bat, it's just his 5th big league game. Centeno had dabbled in the big leagues with the Mets, the Brewers, the Twins, but this is just his 6th game with the Astros. 3-2. Fly ball left field. Gallo is on, and that'll do it. And his fans love it. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Matt Bush gets the Rangers out of a big jam. They have a 3-run lead. Time for the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic Drive-In. Our jackpot worth $300 tonight, plus dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. Rangers hitting for Maryland Wood tonight. If a Ranger hits a home run this inning, Maryland wins $300. If they hit a grand slam this inning, Maryland wins $25 grand. Good luck, Maryland. Napoli will lead it off, and he's going to lead it off against a new pitcher. Francis Martes has come on here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be his 17th appearance this year. You'll see the numbers. 482 earned run average. Some walks mixed in, though. On a night where we have seen a lot of walks and hit batters, that might be something to keep our eyes on in this 6th inning. First one right in there for a strike to Napoli with the solo home run in the 4th inning. A towering home run to left. Swinging for it all right there. Stays alive. Well, they get that Napoli chant going again.
I like it.
As you asked.
Worked the last time up. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2 outs, nobody on.
Napoli with that home run, 23 for the year. He couldn't stop himself when he strikes out. We'll start the 6th inning. Well, tickets for groups of 20 or more start at only $12 each and offer great savings off gate prices. Group pricing is available in 9 different seating areas, plus the all-inclusive Cholula all-you-can-eat seats. You can learn more about group savings offered for every Rangers game at texasrangers.com/groups. One gone. And here's Brett Nicholas. Nicholas had the 3-run homer in the 2nd inning, 1 for 2 tonight. And with really good power. Swinging the bat real well at AAA before his call up. Hits this ball well out to right field. That's a base hit.
Nice swing right there at an inside mid-90s fastball. Look at that 94-mile-an-hour pitch. Good job by Brett being able to get the barrel of the bat on that ball. You can see how you have to keep your hands in close to your body so that the handle of the bat isn't what hits the ball. You have to bring the handle toward you so the barrel of the bat hits the ball. Nice job of doing that time. Kind of like the at-bat Chu had when he had the hit in the 2nd inning. Same thing.
And speaking of Chu, he's been on all 3 times tonight. And takes one very high from Martes. Chu, a couple of walks. Steal in that 5th inning was a big one as well. It's 2-0. He was tied for 3rd in the American League with 64 walks. Coming into the game today, he adds 2 more to that number. Getting on around a 370 clip. Takes a strike, it's 2-1. Chu, one of those guys that's Rangers fans certainly aware, who can get hot for an extended period. We saw a couple of years ago. It's 2-2.
We're talking about the swings that HOU and Nicholas took. Here's HOU back in the second inning. See him keep his hands close to his chest to get the barrel of the bat on the ball. And there's Brett doing the same thing and almost the exact same hit in front of Riddick out in right field. Good camera work right there.
2-2.
HOU just, he won't swing unless it's a good pitch to hit. He'll work the count. He's in pretty good groove in that regard right now. He's already walked a couple of times. Work the count again to 3-2.
Nicholas off first. The 3-2. There goes Nicholas, and that's ball 4.
I don't know how you lay off that pitch. That's kind of like the pitch that Davis laid off of. It's a 3-2 pitch. You don't want to take strike 3. You're not looking for that pitch. You're looking for a fastball. He throws you a tempting pitch, and you just have the discipline to lay off it. HOU is one of the best at that.
Well, brings up Elvis Andrus. Elvis adding a hit tonight to get to 1,401 on the all-time hit leaders in Rangers franchise history. There he is at 5th. Pudge second all-time. His number retired today. Michael Young, the big-time leader, 2,230 hits. Andrus 1 for 3 tonight, though, and he takes one low for ball 1. Nicholas with a 1-out single. HOU with the walk. Rangers already leading by 3. And a bouncer through the hole into left field. That's a base hit. Nicholas is being waved. Here comes a throw from Fisher. He's got a great arm. And Nicholas is out at the plate. Fisher may be limited range in left field, but he has a tremendous arm, and that was a strike to the plate.
Well, one of the stories of this game is the way that the outfielders have been throwing. Saw Springer throw someone out at the plate. It's Fisher throwing someone out of the plate. Saw Joey Gallo throw a batter out at second. Gonzalez trying to stretch a single into a double. A great relay throw from Azara to Odor to Nicholas to get a runner. So 4 times tonight. Excellent plays by the outfield to gun down runners, helping out the pitchers.
Well, that's a big out, but with 2 away, still an opportunity here for Mazara, who takes ball 1. Omar 0 for 2 with an RBI ground out. He's also walked tonight. 72 RBIs, most on the team. And he's gotten the majority of those against right-handed pitching, which stands to reason.
Well, you look at the left fielder with Mazara up right now. He is about as far over toward the line as you'll see. Huge gap out in left center field, though. If you can plug that gap, you pick up a couple of runs.
It's a really interesting alignment because the outfield, while they play way over to the left, the infield with the typical shift for a left-handed power hitter.
You could hit a ground ball, a hard ground ball to shortstop and get a double. No, probably not with Springer out there.
HOU's at second, Andrus at first. Well, that one just off the plate. 2-2.
Take a look at where Nomar gets his hits. Most of them to center field. A few more to right than left.
Foul tip. He stays alive. Francis Martes, third pitcher of the night for the Astros. Francisco Liriano got them through the 5th inning, and that one is high. It's a full count now on Mazzara. If Mazzara can reach, he gets Beltre to the plate with the bases loaded. Martes huffing and puffing out there. A warm evening. It's 82 degrees at game time. And there is ball 4. Mazzara walks. The bases are loaded. The 11th walk of the game.
Now batting third baseman, Adrian.
Martes has thrown 22 pitches here in the 6th inning, so it's been a struggle for him.
Brent Strom out there to have a word with him now. Bases loaded, and Beltre coming up. Now, here's a nostalgic giveaway item. It's going to make you feel like a kid in a toy shop. Now, the first 15,000 fans to the ballpark next Saturday, you're going to get an Adrian Beltre starting lineup figurine courtesy of McDonald's. It's the August 19th game, Rangers-White Sox, 7:05 start. Tickets are available, TexasRangers.com, or by calling 972-RANGERS. Ten career grand slams for Adrian Beltre. Swinging the bat well tonight, seeing the ball well. And a great spot here against Francis Martes. And he takes strike 1. Beltre 0 for 2 in his career against Martes, however. Two hits in the inning. 2 walks in the inning. Ooh, another beauty. 0-2 the count. Martes about to deliver his 25th pitch of this inning. It's a lot. And a swing and a bouncer, right side. That one is through, base hit. 1 run is in. Andrews coming to the plate. He scores. Beltre with a 2-run single. Tacks on some huge insurance runs for the Rangers.
I said the last time he was up when he pulled the double down the left field line. There's an example of why he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. There's another example. He takes 2 sliders on the outside corner, made the count 0-2. Martes comes back with an even better slider. Down and away, it's not a strike. The hit before, he had to keep his hands in to hit the inside pitch. That one he had to reach for a pitch down and away, and still hit it hard enough to shoot it by Altuve for a 2-run hit. Just remarkable opportunity to watch a great player take great swings and get the job done. Just at 39 years old, it's amazing. You just can't take for granted what you're getting a chance to watch right now. That at bat was, if you're Martes, you can't believe what just happened. You throw him 2 sliders to get ahead 0-2 for strikes. Then you say, all right, I'm going to make sure this was outside and not a strike. You do that, and he still gets a 2-run hit.
He's clever. 3 hits tonight. Now with 3,013 in his career. Gallo, meanwhile, has been hit by a pitch. He's walked. He's ahead 2-1.
Here's an inning where the walks definitely turned to the Rangers' advantage. They took advantage of the walks, I should say. A couple of walks. One of them scored. One of them's at third base right now.
There's a swing, and that one lined out toward right field, but Reddick to his left hauls it in. Inning is over. Beltre brings home 2 more. And adding some big runs for the Rangers, an 8-3 lead as we go to the 7th.
AT&T high-speed replay. We're going to go back to the 4th inning. J.D. Davis hits one off the wall, and watch the perfect relay throws. One from Nomar to Rugi, one from Rugi to Brett Nicholas, and they gun down Derek Fisher at the plate. Just about 2 perfect throws. And then a little bit later, George Springer from center field throws out Beltre in a long fly ball. And a little bit later, from left field, it's Derek Fisher with a throw to the plate. This game has just been amazing as far as outfield defense goes in the throwing department. Of course, Joey Gallo had one as well when he gunned out Marwin Gonzalez trying to stretch a single into a double. It's been fun to watch the outfielders today.
Well, on a night when it's been wet, a little sloppy in the outfield, and you'd figure those conditions, maybe that's why some of the guys have been a little more aggressive on the base pass. I don't know, but boy, every time an outfielder's had an opportunity, they have really stood up. Springer 0 for 2 with a walk. You see not much production out of the top 4 hitters in their order so far tonight. Whoa! 1-2 the count. That one in at 96 miles per hour.
There's been a lot of throws from the outfield. There's been a lot of throws from the pitchers on both teams that have been directed at the hitters today. A lot of hit by pitches. A lot of pitches where the batters are diving out of the way. Hitters don't mind pitches in, but boy, it gets uncomfortable when they're up at your head.
Now the 1-2. Fouled away. Well, Springer had to miss some time on the disabled list for a leg injury. Recently off the disabled list. Astros have really been plagued by injury this year. I mean, certainly balls in like that don't make anybody comfortable. Beltre fields the ground ball, throws out Springer, 1 away in the 7th inning.
Right fielder Josh Reddick.
That brings up Josh Reddick, who is 0 for 3. So Bush came on to get the final out of the 6th inning. And now stays in for this 7th. Bullpen quiet. I've seen a lot of this lately where Jeff Bannister and Doug Brocail have asked their relievers to pitch in more than 1 inning. And a lot of outings lately. A high fly ball out to right field. Mazzaro waiting. 2 down.
And Matt did a great job to get out of the 6th inning. Got the bases loaded. He fell behind Centeno, 3 balls and no strikes, and had to throw 5 straight strikes before he finally got him to fly out to left field. Nice job of coming back. A couple of the pitches early in the count he didn't get upset with. Could have been gone. Could have been called strikes. They weren't. Came back from the 3-0 count and kept it a 1-run inning for the Astros in an inning where they could have gotten right back in the ball game.
Altuve walked a couple of times. Find out his last time up. Dangerous hitter. Leading Major League Baseball with a .363 batting average. It's 2-0. 1 for 5 last night. You can slice and dice the numbers a million different ways for Jose Altuve. The bottom line is it's for good power, drives in runs, extraordinary high batting average. One of the best all-around offensive players in the game. He hits this one high in the air, right field, and Mazzara once again is there, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Bush. Needs just 9 pitches to get it done. Time to stand and stretch here at Globe Life Park. Let's turn it over once again to Chuck Morgan.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise and direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome back Michael Bortz. In honor of all the veterans who have served our country and the servicemen and women who are currently stationed at home and around the world, Michael will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, white with foam.
By T-Mobile, Nolan Arenado, 100 RBIs, and he's on pace to become the 4th player to lead the National League in RBIs for 3 straight years. Pretty impressive. Marlins under agreement now to sell to Derek Jeter and his group. And Bryce Harper, this just happened tonight, left the game against the Giants in the first inning with an apparent left knee injury, and it did not look good.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. He was running down the first baseline, jammed his leg on the bag, went flipping over headlong past the bag. Really ugly scene, and we'll wait to get more information on that, of course, a little later.
You know, you've got a team like Washington all in, making trades, improving their bullpen, one of the best offenses in baseball, gearing up for the postseason. What a shame. Lose their best player. 14.5 game lead in their division. Don't like to see that for any team.
Gomez lays off a high one there, and on a late appeal, they say, no, he didn't go. James Hoyt, the new pitcher. Making his 35th appearance. ERA a little over 5. 2-1.
That's another pitch up and in.
Well, you'd understand if guys get a little sensitive.
I don't blame him for feeling that way. And you know, it's not. It gets to the point where it's not necessarily the intent. No one's saying that they're throwing at him. It's just it just keeps happening one right after the other, and sooner or later you just kind of lose the right to make that many mistakes.
The Rangers have spread it around a little bit tonight. 8 runs so far, 9 total hits. In a game that has seen just about as many walks and hit batters, probably more walks and hit batters than actual hits in this game, as a strikeout of Gomez is how we start the bottom of the 7th.
Second baseman, Rougned
Comes Rougned Odor. Let's check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, I talked to Rougned Odor today about just kind of the vibe in the clubhouse, what it's been like since the trade deadline. He said, you know, after Darvish got traded, immediately right after that, we've kind of had a little bit of a letdown, maybe a couple of days to kind of maybe call it a Darvish hangover. But he said after that, they really tried to make a concerted effort to just go out, have fun, play baseball. They're still in the race. They want to make things interesting, and they feel like they have a run in them. But he said it did take them a couple days to kind of get over that, process it, and move on and figure out the approach the rest of the way through the season. Since then, if you take out those couple of days after the trade deadline, 3-2, which is not too, you know, it's not outstanding by any stretch, but it is winning baseball. And if they can extend it to 4-2 here tonight, and then maybe get on a little bit of a roll, they feel like they can make some noise in the wild card race.
Well, that makes sense, Em. That's logical that they would feel that way. But at the same time, you would expect with the character around the ball club that they would bounce right out of it and come back and play their brand of baseball.
Odor goes. It's a new bat. In fact, just takes Napoli's, cracking it on that last foul ball. Well, 3 back in the wild card race. You know, we said it on more than one occasion. You could look at that number, and then the number of teams ahead of you as being a potential issue. 1 and 2 to count. But the first task, and they've started to play a little better baseball lately. The first task is get to 500. Sitting at 55 wins, 59 losses at the moment. Get to 500, break that barrier, and then start looking at who's ahead of you. As Odor swings and misses, back-to-back strikeouts here in the 7th inning. Two down, time for a Chevy game break. Let's going back to Dana Larson. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'm no doctor, and I don't even play one on TV, but that just looks nasty. I mean, whatever the nature of the injury is, I can say this much: that hurt. When you're talking about a guy of his stature on a team that good, it becomes a concern for a lot of people. It's Napoli. takes 2 wide ones here. His 23rd home run earlier tonight, struck out a couple of times. James Hoyt, though, has looked good in relief. Napoli pops his foul back behind us, backed up over our head. Right back down in front of us. There you go. I don't think I've seen that. Right over the top of our head and then right back down to the folks sitting just beneath us. A 2-1, fouled back, and it's 2-2 on Napoli. Yeah, this is the unlimited baseball break inning. Neil Walker, we just saw him with the Mets. He was traded today. Neil Walker and cash from New York to Milwaukee for a player to be named later. Full count to Napoli. So a team we saw in New York just days ago, Tom, is really not even there anymore. Jay Bruce traded.
No.
Neil Walker traded. Well, we noted that when we got there, they had just cleared waivers, and there was a lot of speculation as to whether or not those two would be able to be moved by New York, and indeed they worked quickly and have done so. Stays 3-2 on Napoli. Take a look at the National League East standings, and you see the Mets 16.5 back, 10 games under 500. There's obvious reasons why they would think about moving guys who would not appear to be the future of that team. (3-2). Popped up left side, and that one ends up among the spectators. Boy, that one came so hard. Saw those standings in the National League East. That's a division where the Washington Nationals are running away with it. The Dodgers, of course, running away with it in the West. There's intrigue in the Central Division, home of the defending world champion Cubs in the National League. This one hit sharply up the middle, but Altuve is there on the wrong side of the bag. It goes over to first to get Napoli, and it ends the 7th inning. So we go to the 8th. Rangers still with a big lead. Seven days of 7. Pudge's MVP season 1999. He had his career best 20-game hitting streak, a streak in which he hit 375. Ended on June 1st, but that year 332 average, 35 homers, 25 stolen bases. He caught 38 runners trying to steal. And that was a part of that 1999 season. We're flashing back today with these uniforms tonight for both the Astros and the Rangers. Astros win their third straight Central title in the National League. Rangers win their third American League West title in a 4-year stretch. So a lot of fun memories from 1999 for these two teams. 8th inning now. And Matt Bush out for more work. He's got Beltran, Alex Bregman, and Marwin Gonzalez in the 8th.
Yeah, and you know, he had such a quick last inning. He's only thrown 18 pitches, 18 or 19 pitches. Still strong. He's had some rest. He's throwing mid-90s to upper 90s. Good chance to stick with him while he's throwing the ball so well.
Beltran 0 for 3. And he shoots this one high in the air out to short left field. Gallo coming in, but it's Andrews going out, and Elvis puts it away. 1 out in the 8th inning. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on MLB.TV Premium on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Just go to MLB.TV for details. One out here in the 8th inning, and it brings up Alex Bregman. There's a swing, and this one fouled over to the left side, out of play. 1-1 on Bregman. He was hit by pitches last time up. That was when Tyson Ross was still in the game. Ross had 2 out in the 6th inning, but then hit Bregman, gave up a single to Gonzalez, walked Fisher, walked J.D. Davis, and then had to leave the game. This ball hit well down the left field line, foul. And the count is 1-2. Now it's Claudio getting ready, and he had to do some work last night.
He sure did. He had to pitch out of jams twice. Gave up a couple of doubles in the 8th. Pitched his way around it. A couple of singles in the 9th. Got Altuve to pitch his way around it. Struck out the side in the 9th. Just dominated the Astros with that 70-mile-per-hour changeup.
2-2 to Bregman. It's a healthy rip there at 98 miles per hour, and Bush has put a couple in the heart of the zone for Bregman in this at bat. He's not been able to square it up yet.
That's a perfect example of if it's going 98 miles an hour and it's right down the middle, you've got a better chance of a foul ball than you do if it's going 88 miles an hour right down the middle of the plate. That upper 90s fastball gives you a little bit more margin for error.
Blew that one past him.
Then you come up and in, it's a different story. He had some location where he could handle it. Fouled it off. This one he couldn't handle it, tailed up and in, and ends up in a strikeout. Bregman's not a big strikeout guy either. He's a pretty good contact hitter.
First strikeout tonight for Bush. Let's see, Marwin Gonzalez had a good night. A couple of hits in 3 tries. Strike 1. Last night the Rangers jumped out 6-0, only to see the Astros climb back in the game in the 8th and 9th innings. And Claudio ultimately got the job done. But we have seen this Rangers bullpen lately really shore things up. They had a 171 team or bullpen earned run average for the month going into last night. Now they gave up a few runs last night. Tonight, Bush looking good again, and there's a swing, and that one line to first, and it's caught by Napoli to win the inning, and it's another 1-2-3 for Matt Bush. And we talked a lot about the outfield defense in this one tonight. Sometimes infielders can have the great reactions as well. Napoli puts it away. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by AT&T Internet. Visit AT&T.com/keepcalm to learn more. 8-3 Rangers leading, and fans here still enjoying the opportunity to see the actual plaque from the National Baseball Hall of Fame of Pudge Rodriguez. It's here visiting for the weekend, the special weekend. We retired his number 7 before the ball game. And a very special opportunity.
It really was. At the luncheon the other day, they had that out there, and any fan at the luncheon could walk by and get their picture taken with it. And I think almost everybody at that luncheon took the opportunity to do it. That's really a nice thing to be able to display that, knowing it's on its way back to Cooperstown.
Nicholas fouls off strike 2. Brett Nicholas leading it off in this 8th inning against Ramin Gudwan. We saw him last night. And this will be his 17th appearance of the year, an earned run average of 6 for Gudwan. Nicholas turns that one foul. His appearance last night was a somewhat short one for Gudwan. He was coming on to try and get the final out. Of the 6th inning, and he did. But then he came on in the 7th, gave up a double and a single to Anderson Mazzara, and was lifted. And a big curveball. There's a swing and a miss, so a strikeout. That's how things go here to start the bottom of the 8th inning.
Designated hitter HOU.
I'm back to the top for HOU. 3 walks tonight. Well, as a base hit, so he's had a great night at the plate. HOU was the guy Gudwan came on to get last night to win the inning, and he got him to ground out to second base. Interesting with Gudwan on the mound. They play Chu kind of conventionally on the infield. A lot of times we see them with a big shift. But that's about as close to conventional as you get these days. 8-3 Rangers. And strike two. Chu scored a couple of runs today. He's also stolen a base. Rangers trying to take the first 2 games of this series. There's the shift. now that maybe somebody just find. Well, wait a minute, that's Chu. Remember? We're supposed to be over here. Now, as the count changes, we see this all the time. Teams will change their alignment. Although that's the one to me, Tom, that's so counterintuitive. You would think 1 strike, no strikes, maybe you have this shift, but then with 2 strikes, because the old days, you know, the old days being 3 years ago.
The only thing I can think of is with 2 strikes, there's maybe more likelihood that he's going to throw a breaking ball, which might be is slower and might force you to pull the ball a little bit more than normal. But yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. I can remember managers saying with 2 strikes, move the other way a little bit because the batter's going to try to make contact and will be more likely to hit the ball the other way than to pull it. But it does not seem to be the case now, at least in the infield anyway.
Full count now on Chu. Gudwan's payoff. And this one is the other way.
He tried to. That's, you know, he's upset because he's facing a lefty with pretty good stuff. He's got 2 strikes. He's saying, I've got the left side to shoot at. I'm going to go the other way. He does it. He hits a line drive, and it's right at the only guy on the left side of the infield. It's just frustrating to have that kind of at bat, do exactly what you wanted to do, and then look up and have the ball go right at the person on the left side of the infield. Just a bad break. You did everything right, hit the ball hard. Unfortunately, there was someone there to catch it.
So now the base is empty with 2 outs for Andrews. Actually, last night Elvis hit a double off Gudwan. First taste of the big leagues this year for Gudwan. And that right-hander gets a ground ball. The hole is short. Long throw by Bregman, and that's nicely done to retire his opposite number. Rangers go quietly in the 8th. Last chance for the Astros coming up.
in Arlington. We started with such a high, and the Rangers are hoping to end it that way here in just a couple of minutes. Dana Larson reminding you we'll have Rangers Eye presented by Frontier Communications coming up right after the game. Speaking of that high at the beginning of the night, we will relive the Hall of Famers' emotional pregame ceremony, and also take a look at the future Hall of Famer, Adrian Beltre, and his big night at the plate. Also, the Rangers' terrific defense in the outfield. We'll have reaction from the clubhouse and the manager, all that and so much more. Join Mike Bassick and Mark McLemore as we bring you the postgame show here in just a bit. Guys, back to you.
Looking forward to it, Dana, and it has been one of those real special, fun nights, and very neat that the Rangers able to follow up by playing a nice ball game tonight as well, leading by 5, and Jason Grilli taking over in the 9th. Grilli will get the bottom third of the order for the Astros, and his first pitch, a big swing and a miss by Derek Fisher. Tyson Ross went 5 2/3 tonight. Well, 3 runs on 4 hits, walked 5, struck out 2. But Matt Bush, 2 1/3 scoreless, no hits, 1 strikeout. He was outstanding. Grilli following suit by pumping in strike 2. Sellout crowd tonight, 47,306 here for the retiring of number 7 before the ball game. 1 and 2 to count. Got to see some early offense and power displayed by the Rangers. Pitching's been good. Ross really worked through what at times was spotty command, but man, he did a nice job.
Yep.
One, 2.
That was probably the biggest batter, one of the biggest batters, if not the biggest, was Centeno after Davis walked to bring in the 3rd run for the Astros. And Matt Bush came in to come back from that 3-0 count and get him to fly out to get out of that inning and keep it a 1-run inning. That was a huge out.
And Bush would retire all 7 batters he faced. 2-2. Fisher stays alive. Fisher has walked. He's been hit by a pitch. He's reached on an error tonight. A couple walks last night as well, along with a base hit. So he has done a very admirable job getting on base in this series. Full count now. Not a save spot here. Really a guy who has plenty of experience finishing ball games. And we're in a situation where, well, for an extended stretch, Jeff Bannister is not named a closer as Grilli gets strike 3 on Fisher. Well, that was crisp.
Third baseman J.D. Davis.
Yeah, pretty good pitch. Fisher's a very discerning hitter. He's a little bit like Chu in that regard. But he took one that was on the borderline. The call went to Jason Grilli. Good pitch.
So 1 out. J.D. Davis. Oh, Lord, swing and a miss. He's had a busy night tonight. Davis, big guy, 6'3", 235 pounds. 3rd round pick for the Astros in 2014. It did not take him long to matriculate to the big leagues. In fact, last year 23 home runs at Double-A, 26 home runs the year before that at Single-A. Guy with a great arm. We saw it tonight. Good power. I think he'll hit. They've got a crowded outfield, but some depth that they've been able to take advantage of this year with all the injuries. A.J. Hinch has had to navigate around a lot of bruised bodies these days. And Davis's opportunity really emerged when Colin Moran, this has been a couple of weeks now, he fouled one off the handle of his bat, and it redirected it straight up into his eye. He had surgery to repair that part of the face and open up a spot for Davis to really vault quickly up here and get this big opportunity. And as we mentioned earlier, it's just the 5th big league game in his career. Full count from Grilly. This one back out of play again. One away, nobody on. Astros at the bottom of their order in this critical 9th inning. Grilly loses J.D. Davis, so he walks him. And will now deal with a 9th place hitter, Juan Centeno. Special night tonight. This night, obviously, all about the ball game, but it started with a number retirement for Pudge Rodriguez. Great ceremony before the ball game today. A super job with his comments acknowledging Adrian Beltre. Plaque from Cooperstown is here. Rangers now with 4 numbers that have been permanently retired. One of them, Jackie Robinson, 42, that has been retired all across baseball. Pudge is number 7. But then all you have is Nolan Ryan's 34, Johnny Oates number 26. I appreciate the fact that this organization has done a good job of, really holding this honor in high regard, because there are some teams, boy, they'll just retire a number willy-nilly. You see it sometimes, honestly, where organizations, they're retiring numbers. Hey, he was pretty good, right? Retire his number.
Yeah, I guess the exception to that is the Yankees, who they've had so many great players. They've retired the same number twice.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it should be an honor. I don't think an organization could bestow an honor on a player any greater than to retire his number.
Ball turned foul by Centeno. It's 1-2. I was a little surprised when you look at some of the history of retiring numbers. That number 7 has only been retired on 2 other occasions.
Wow.
Mickey Mantle and Craig Biggio.
Huh.
Maybe that one might have been a little more popular. The first time it ever happened, Lou Gehrig, 1939.
Boy, then you've got Frank Robinson and Nolan Ryan have had their uniforms retired by several teams.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ceremonies. Got your speech down pretty well after the after the 3rd one.
Two and 2. And this one turned foul again. Centeno 0 for 3 today, but battling here with Jason Grilly. Centeno's 6th game with the Astros. It's funny looking at his numbers. He's got a couple of home runs. 2 this year at 1 in the minor leagues. Is this one up and in? And he's shown more power in the big leagues than he has in the minor leagues. And one of his home runs off Justin Verlander. which I suppose when you only have a handful, that's kind of a feather in the cap. Not a big guy. It's fouled away. Count stays full. Now it's Claudio getting ready in case he's needed here in this 9th inning. Centeno, a short catcher, 5'9", from Puerto Rico. You know, it was a special night for him tonight. He turns this one on the first base side. Well, he's putting up a big fight here. And there is no doubt growing up he was well aware of, and you got to believe a huge fan of Pudge Rodriguez. This ball high in the air out toward right field. Zara, and there are 2 gone.
Well, it was a long at bat. Centeno battled as well as he could, but in the end, Jason Grilli prevailed. Long night at the ballpark, but a lot of fans have stayed right to the bitter end. Stands were packed early tonight because of Pudge's ceremony. They didn't want to miss that. Generally, when you've got a full house, there's a lot of seats available right up until game time, and then they fill in when the game starts. But tonight, in anticipation of the ceremony for Pudge, they were pretty much filled at 6:30.
I love that Pudge pointed that out today. He's like,
yeah,
he
noticed.
Yeah. It's like, it's 6:15.
Yeah,
they're filled, and yeah, they were.
It's been a great night for the concessionaire tonight.
Boy,
full house at 6:15. Late game.
A rain delay in there.
People ate an early supper and then a late supper in the same game. So a lot of boomsticks tonight.
And George Springer.
That was kind of a similar swing that Napoli took on his home run. Fooled, pause, let it go.
'25th pitch of the inning for Grilli, and Springer just did lay off. 1-1 to count. Rangers trying to hold on this 8-3 lead here in the 9th inning. Springer hits it hard out to left field. Gallo ranges over, and this one is over. Rangers win it 8-3, the final score, and send the Astros to their 5th straight loss. Well, Mitch of the power early. Brett Nicholas with a home run. Mike Napoli with a home run as well. It's fun to see the catcher be such a big factor in this one tonight, the night of which we retired Pudge Rodriguez's number 7 in left field. Now the Rangers with a chance to sweep this series tomorrow afternoon.
Well, we go back quite a while to the 2nd inning, and it was Brett Nicholas that got the Rangers on the board. Couple of men on, launched a high one to right field that smashed off the facing of the upper deck. That would get the Rangers off to a nice lead, 3-0, and they would keep adding on. Ended up with 8 runs, held the Astros to 3 runs and 4 hits, win the 2nd game in a row of this series. And after a beautiful night at the ballpark for the Pudge Rodriguez ceremonies, the Rangers put the icing on the cake with a nice win.
Yeah, starting to play some better baseball, taking care of their own business here at home in particular. Jeff Bannister happy with that one. Hit the first 2 against these Astros. And Steve Buechele sighting after the game. That's good to see too. The Rangers came in 3 back in the wild card race, but again, more importantly now, they are 3 shy of getting to 500. They're 56 and 59 with the victory tonight. And you take a look at the updated wild card standings, and there they are. Rangers just 2 games out. They haven't gone on their run yet to get there. The reality is that the wild card pack coming back to them. Well, looks like the boys are ready to do their work. And we know that Emily is ready to do hers as she stands by with our hero of the game.
Yes, Brett Nicholas, had to be a special night for you to start out with the Pudge pregame ceremony, and then you get off to the hot start that you did.
Yeah, it was, you know, to honor the greatest catcher of all time in Pudge. I mean,
and a great way to cap it off, right?
Yeah. Feels really good after that night. It was hot out there.
What was it like for you to be a part of that pregame start, watch it from that vantage point, to be in the starting lineup today?
Yeah, I mean, just to know the amount of work that he put in just to get to the day like today is incredible. And you know, he's an inspiration as a catcher, and obviously that's who we all compare ourselves, especially to in this organization. It's a special man, special catcher, and it was awesome to honor him tonight.
For you, a little more juiced up because of that. It seemed like the power that we saw down in AAA starting to make its way to the big league.
Yeah, I mean, it's a special night, not only having Pudge there, but also, you know, anytime Pudge is in the building, you know, you're going to sell this place out. And it was easy to show up tonight. You know, a lot of energy from the crowd, and just made for a great night.
What did you see from your staff tonight?
Oh man, they competed really well. You know, Tyson got in some deep counts, got in some you know, situations with guys on base, but he competed really hard out there. Did a great job getting out of it. And you know what, his sinker was working really well. And obviously Bushy, I mean, I don't have to say anything with Bush. He's an incredible talent and just came in pounding the zone and finished off with Grilly.
3 in a row now. This is officially a streak. Can you sense kind of some momentum starting to shift for you guys?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's these are big wins, and especially getting later in the year. But we realize that you know, we're not too far back from the wild card, and you know, you put together a little streak like this, and you can climb right back into it, and changes the whole season.
Nicholas, thank you so much. First home run of the season. We appreciate the time. We'll send it back now to you guys.
All right, thanks, Emily. Nicely done, and a great win for the Rangers on a special night tonight for Pudge Rodriguez, Dana Larson, Mark McLemore, Mike Bassick. They'll be back to bring you more from tonight's proceedings. For Tom Grieve and Emily Jones, I'm Dave Raymond, inviting you to stay with us. Our coverage of Rangers baseball continues right after this.